800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
When life gets too hectic, it's time to retreat from the noise.
My name's Carmen DePasquale. I have been a retreatant for about 26 years. I came alone. I literally read it in a bulletin and decided that this might be something that I'd like to do. I literally took a leap of faith and I thought, well, let me see what this is about. And if this is right for me, I always felt welcomed even though I didn't know anyone.
Retreat from the noise. Hear God's voice. Go to malvernretreat.com.
So anyone can really feel welcome here.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it into your phone. 800-211-4413. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax debt reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debt settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own, and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pension seized. Call now. Call 800-211-4413. That's 800-211-4413. 800-211-4413.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
That's right. Loaded up today. I don't like that weather forecast, though. Too nice tomorrow. Come on now. Hail, brimstone, tumbleweeds coming down the streets. That's a big question, though. A couple of sources have told me we're at about the 412,000, a little bit plus maybe, Democrat advantage in so-called early voting, meaning mail-in balloting. Now you think, oh my God, we're down 412,000 to nothing. But realize around this time last year, it ended up being down 1.1 million. So Scott Presler is here. He was in the middle of the Battle of Bucks County. This was like Revolutionary War days to let people vote. New York Times had a story of a mom and son who braved these just arrogance. These people belong in running Philadelphia. They're that good. Diane and Bob Harv de Ross out there in Bucks County. 8 hours it took them to vote. 8 hours. Well, they got to vote, didn't they? 8 hours. The progressive newspaper and the mob out there in Bucks County are infuriated. They wrote this in the Bucks County Beacon, which is a progressive newspaper. The Intel news reporter, J.D. Mullane, joins MAGA radio host. There's a new Bron. MAGA radio host.
Oh, no.
Dom Giordano, MAGA radio host, to suggest a baseless conspiracy carried out by Democrats parroting MAGA messaging about the long lines at the Bucks County Courthouse polling place. Oh, you can poll there. I thought you guys said they were not a polling place. Being intentional in order to disenfranchise them. MAGA radio host and J.D. Now, what J.D. Mullane was doing as a good reporter was telling us what he was viewing as he was there. How long these lines were. I'm the one that says, and I'm not the conspiracy guy, It's clear. A judge told them, you're going to have to let these people stay in line and vote. They said, fine. Try 8 hours then. That's exactly what they were doing. That's exactly what they're about. That's exactly where we are. There's no doubt about that. This is what they're up to. If the election goes their way, they'll be heroes. They'll be storied. And the stupid voters in Bucks County, I guess, will continue to say, yeah, that's what we want. That's good government. We'll see. All right. Here is, we're going to start with 20 here, Henry. Here is the Houlihan, though. The Congresswoman Houlihan, who surfaces. No, first, so I don't forget. I'll get to her in a second. Who would you send in to fire up Eagles fans? Now, we have Scott Presler coming in. So yesterday, they sent to the tailgate, and we'll play this a little bit. It'll be cut 16. They send in to fire up Eagles fans, which are a real anomaly. Could these people really be Harris voters? These guys at a tailgate serving up pressed duck? Does that sound like a Harris supporter? They sent in Mary Gay Scanlon. Can you imagine? The only thing her connection to that area is that's where her car was carjacked and stolen. Maybe she told them about that, about a block away. They sent in John Kerry. Can you give them hoagie cheesesteak advice there at the tailgate? Maybe that's what they were thinking. You know, John knows a lot about Philadelphia cuisine. And they sent in the big guy, De Niro. What the heck is De Niro going to? Oh, Silver Linings Playbook. There you go.
Yeah, that's a connection.
There's a connection. So he talks Silver Linings Playbook. Kerry has a lot of history here. He talks cuisine. It's a tailgate. And Mary Gay Scanlon was carjacked there. I could just see these geniuses. Hey, they all have something they could talk about with these fans. Now, the sound isn't great, but it's only 20 seconds of this. Here is Robert De Niro at the tailgate. What's he talking about? It appears to be reproductive rights with Eagles fans. Her reproductive rights. All right. That's about the best they could do. We don't have the sound of John Kerry or Mary Gay Scanlon, unfortunately, at this event.
Unfortunately?
Yeah. Well, no.
I think that's a good thing. We don't have to listen to that.
That's right, for mockery's sake. But the bottom line is, can you imagine this is who they dragooned to go in and talk to Eagles fans? I'm kind of surprised they did not get Emmitt Smith or somebody to come in if he's a supporter. Yeah, let's send him there in a cowboy uniform and have them talk to these Eagles fans. It's a sign, I think a sign, I wouldn't say quite desperation, but it's a sign that they feel Philadelphia is tepid, not going to turn out tomorrow and what they need for Kamala Harris, that they're doing their final event at the Art Museum, ignoring what Hillary did with her final event over at the Constitution Hall area, bringing in Lady Gaga, Oprah, etc. I think it is a bit of a concert. They better have somebody sing tonight, or that's going to be kind of awful. They're blocking off the world here for this. What is it with Philadelphia? They always feel they have to come to Philadelphia as the closing deal, that Philadelphia is not going to respond. So here is Chrissy Houlihan yesterday, I think on CNN. Listen, simple question. She represents Chester County, sort of. Why are Democrats not connecting and beating Trump on their message if it's so good? Here's what Houlihan said.
Despite all of what you just laid out there, that Donald Trump does seem to have a connection with voters in Pennsylvania. Why?
You know, I think that there still is a feeling amongst some of the electorate that they have been forgotten, and that they are looking for somebody who sees them in a way that they feel is not around in the environment. And so I feel frustrated because I feel as though somehow all of us have not been able to break through and communicate all of the decent and good things that are happening under Democratic control with a Democratic White House, and all of the really amazing things that have happened as a consequence of the Biden administration and hopefully of the Harris administration. You know, you stand on a street corner and you're watching people pull the lead pipes out of our communities because they've been there for more than 40 years while we've known they've been hurting our children and our families because of the Biden administration administration and hopefully a future Harris administration, those pipes are being eliminated. People are being more safe. And as a result, there's also jobs that are being created on that corner. And so I think there really is a disconnect that we're still struggling with to try to communicate really what the Democratic platform is about and about the harmfulness of the Republican platform.
How about how much does that CNN anchor pay? How about interrupting for a second and saying, what about grocery store prices? What about what you've done to the middle class?
Yeah, but the lead pipes.
That? But the lead pipes, you're standing on the street corner, oh my God, they're taking out the lead finally. Little note there, Henry, the unions are not too keen about that.
Oh,
because
really?
I think the lead pipes might break down more than the other ones that people wanted to replace with. There's been a battle. Houlihan wasn't asked about that. So, you're standing. This is the best. Now, she's talking point up. She's a congressperson coming on here. Well, yeah, if I had them on a street corner and they saw those lead pipes coming up, yeah, but I'm going shopping this afternoon at the Acme. What are you going to do about that? Well, what do you mean? Inflation's down. All right, here is just one more because Bill O'Reilly's in the on-deck circle. Here is Chris Murphy. Now, Chris Murphy is one of the tougher Democrats in the debate, usually on gun control. He was on, I believe, CNN again yesterday, and Murphy was talking about the fact that 40% of Trump's ads focus on transgender kids. Now, I have a big point. I just wrote the column about this, why Trump is doing that. Here's what Murphy said.
So why wouldn't she use that opportunity to explain her change in that opportunity? For example, on transgender surgeries for criminals, illegal aliens in prison, I'll follow the law. Why not use that opportunity to say, I would not pay for that? Because that's not where the American people are at.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting to me is that, estimates are that like 40% of all of Trump's ads are about transgender kids. As if that's the biggest threat to this country. I mean, I heard folks on your previous segment talking about grocery prices, but that's not what most people care about in this country. They care about prices. They care about public safety. They don't think that 40% of the conversation in this campaign should be about transgender kids. And as for the border wall, listen, I'm fine with building some additional border wall, but we had funding in that bipartisan border bill to put thousands of
Henry, he's
border
off the point now. Let me go back to, first of all, it's not 40%. Read my column, Delaware Valley Journal. I called this the sleeper issue. And what Murphy knows is that people do care about this. It's a tell. It tells us what Harris and Democrats are really all about. This is the hill they want to fight you on. So, yes, how many more ads are we going to prove what they've done to the middle class with grocery store prices? How much more can we have illegal aliens raping and killing people in ads? This is another front because it's an insight to how far she's gone and how far they've gone, and people care about that. That's why over the weekend, Trump brought up the Roanoke Swim Club, females, onto the stage with him to make this point. You know it, buddy. People care about it. All right, coming up, Bill O'Reilly, brilliant column yesterday. Who does he say is hoping for a Harris win? We'll talk with him. Take your calls at 855-839-1210.
It all comes down to this. Election night. The election of our lifetime. What will happen? Where will the problems and surprises be? Will Pennsylvania decide who the next president is?
I come from the middle class, and I'll never forget where I come from.
Be here for our election night coverage starting at 7 p.m. with Rich Cioli, Jimmy Fela, Don Stensland, Nick Cale, and Dom Giordano, plus Walter Sterling into the wee small hours. All live, all local. Election night starting at 7 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and on the free Odyssey app.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare Care and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Throughout this campaign, I've seen the best of America, and I've seen what is holding you back and weighing you down. High costs, fundamental rights being taken away, and politics that too often have driven division. Next January, one of us will be president. If it's Donald Trump, he's made clear he'll wake up every day and stew over his enemies list. That will help no one. If I am president, I'll be focused on my to-do list for you, the American people. I'll cut costs by cracking down on corporate price gouging, make housing more affordable, lower taxes for 100 million Americans, and protect Social Security. I'll focus on you and getting things done. And now I'm asking for your vote, because as president, I will get up every day and fight for the American people. Let's get to work. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
All right, big issues, big guest. I'm Giordano's show on a huge day. Nobody bigger than Bill O'Reilly, the author of Confronting the President, No Spin Assessments from Washington to Biden. Let's go to Bill O'Reilly. Hey, Bill, welcome in. And your column yesterday is something the Trump people should have done as a closing argument, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing after another with this propaganda machine we have in America today. And the Liz Cheney hysteria is a great example of that. So I just made fun of it, just mocked it. The Trump people would be a lot better off. They had a sense of humor, which they don't. And hiring a guy who smears Puerto Ricans is not a comedian, is really not a good demonstration of a sense of humor. So, I have to say, with 1 day left, my prediction is Trump will win. But he should win by 10 points. And the reason he isn't going to win by that many is because his campaign is ridiculous. It is. It's run by, obsequious people who have no vision. He himself is a charismatic figure along the lines of Teddy Roosevelt, very similar in their presentations to the folks, but it's lost under the propaganda, taking his comments out of context. But by now he should know that.
Exactly.
Really,
look, not that it would ever happen or you would do it, but he needs somebody that he respects and is on a senior level We all have that person. I remember meeting a guy who worked with you. I have somebody with me that you listen to them. When they tell you you've gone too far or don't do this, I don't know that he's ever had anybody, Bill. Is it impossible to imagine he would listen to anybody?
He's got a couple of people, Susie Wiles, Tom, what's his name, Pat Summerall's daughter, the old football announcer player. He listens to her, and he's got a couple of people in there that are long-time Trump adherents. The problem is with Donald Trump, and this is very important for people to understand on both sides of the aisle. Donald Trump wants to be an entertainer as well as a politician. You can't do it. Nobody can.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets out there for an hour and a half, wherever his rallies are, and he's riffing, and he's making fun of people. He's doing the Don Rickles stuff. He's doing all of that. And they just pick off, take out of context stuff he says that means nothing, and make it a headline. And it's been going on now for what, 8 years?
Yep.
But he still wants to be an entertainer. And I'm sitting there going, you know, it's a whole different game. If you're going to be witty, if you're going to make asides, you have to clearly signal that that's what you're doing. Therefore, if they pick that up and, you know, try to hurt you with it, you have the proof to call them out. I mean, the latest is he wants to have journalists shot. You know, I mean, look, I don't think anybody's believing it at this point, but the overall negativity of the press toward Donald Trump has influenced some primarily female voters. They think he's a nut. And that overrides, you know, the ideological positions that Kamala Harris may have, which are just frightening. If you break what she really wants to do down, it is frightening.
Bill,
but I don't think most Americans know how frightening.
Exactly. They've allowed her. The only thing that she has, and I wrote about that this week, the sleeper issue, and the Trump people spent about $30 million on this, is the transgender, particularly boys and girls sports, et cetera. She wouldn't give that up. Apparently she can't. The only other thing she couldn't give up, she couldn't have Josh Shapiro on the ticket. He would have made Pennsylvania excruciating for Republicans if he had been the VP.
Well, I agree with that. And to show you how similar Harris and Trump are in that area, which is really their only area of similarity, they both wanted candidates who agreed with everything they said.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted. Okay? And Shapiro is an independent thinker. I don't think he would have gone against the orthodoxy had he been selected. But clearly in the way he presents himself, he's not saying to the American public, yeah, I really want biological men in women's bathrooms. He's not going to say that. And so the progressives did not want him on the ticket, and Kamala Harris does what the progressive leadership tells her to do.
The book, give us more insight now to how Americans are talking to you about the book. They're obviously interested. They're buying it. It's one of your best. And there's stuff in there, even if you think you know every president, that you will not have known this. But what's the reaction? I know some of the media won't even talk to you, of course.
Well, the book is a phenomenal success, and thank you very much for mentioning it, Dom. I appreciate it. And Giordano has read the book, and that sets him apart from many in the media who are too lazy to do anything. The book is valuable because it provides a ebb and flow, an up and down to our history. And if you read it from Washington to Biden, you'll see that we go up, we go down. We have rogues, we have corrupt people, we have brilliant people. The worst president of the United States, James Buchanan, was followed by the best president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. And that gives people hope because I don't think that cycle is going to be interrupted. If Kamala Harris wins, we are in for a very rough 4 years. Everybody will suffer. Every single person in this country will suffer, mainly because the economy will blow up and overseas will get out of control. Those are givens. And so 4 years from now, we'll limp, and I mean that literally, to the polls again to vote for another president. So if she loses, which of course I am hoping, not because I'm favoring Donald Trump, the man, I'm favoring a traditional governance for this country, which Trump will provide.
Wait, stop that
Okay?
right there, Bill. That is a great point, that Trump will be, aside from all the sideshows, a traditional governance. She will not.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And when you read Confronting the President, you'll see the vast array of philosophies that these 45 men brought. Some were successful, some were failures. Some were corrupt, some were honest. So now we're in another crossroads. I'm hoping that the United States does not have to suffer another 4 years because people don't like Donald Trump. I hope that doesn't happen, but it might.
Absolutely. Bill, what do you have on Bill O'Reilly tonight? What are you doing tonight?
Well, we got two pollsters, the pollsters we trust the most. And one of them is Atlas, an outfit out of Brazil. Mm-hmm. And I found these people because they don't have any paymaster here in the United States, and they don't have any ideological thing. The other is Rasmussen, which tilts Trump. Then I'm going to compare that to Morning Consult and Marist, which tilt Harris. So we're going to see where they all are now, and then on Wednesday we'll, tell you who was right. Atlas has been the most accurate for the last two terms, last two elections, and they are predicting Trump slightly. All right? I don't believe this Iowa poll at all, the Des Moines Register poll. Don't believe it. There was a corresponding poll out at the same time that has Trump up by 10 in Iowa. Of course, that poll was ignored. And the media grabbed on the Des Moines Register poll, which is Harris up by 3. I do not believe the Des Moines Register poll. Final point. You have to take a break?
No, go ahead, Bill.
Okay. Final point on this election is no matter what happens, no matter who wins, the media is through in America, finished. So ironically, the industry that Donald Trump hates the most, the American corporate media, has destroyed itself by hating Trump.
Is this meaning people like you, Megyn Kelly, or is it mean this gaggle of all these podcasts are going to fill that void? What fills that void?
Podcasts can't fill anything. That's just ruminating. Okay? It's just people in a room kicking it around. I am the most successful independent news person in the world right now. And I don't know how many people could follow the model on BillO'Reilly.com because it is a disciplined model. We do not do a podcast. We do a broadcast, a newscast full of analysis every night, Monday through Thursday. Okay? I don't know anybody else doing that. So I have the field all to myself as the corporate media crumbles, and you can see it right before your eyes. You think 60 Minutes is ever going to recover from ginning up that Harris interview? It will never recover. And these idiots in all of these corporations don't even know the Armageddon they are facing. Washington Post, New York Times, all of them are going to go down. They're on the skids anyway, and they've committed suicide by hating Trump so much.
I agree. This is one of the biggest untold stories. Once this is all over, that's what we're going to see. That's what we'll be talking about. BillO'Reilly.com tonight. Bill, thanks as always.
Okay, Don. Thanks for having me in. Appreciate it.
Bill O'Reilly today, not sparing any opinion on everything that we've talked about. You're going to get a Pressler pump up at 12:30 today, a pep rally with Scott Pressler, who was out there in Bucks County the other day, of course. What is he thinking as we're on the night before the big day? You can hardly call it the big day anymore. As I told you, some numbers, thanks to Guy Shiraki, And he's a little bit unclear. He's going to have more later, though. Exactly who do they favor, what they mean. A guy gave me Republicans asked for 724,182 requests for mail-in ballots. They returned so far, this was up yesterday, 605,611. Requested by Democrats, 1,232,157. Returned, 1,028,821. Swing, independent. They requested 164,115,000 returns. So it's not just the request, it's the return. And at this rate, based on that, Republicans are down about 400,000 plus. Now, remember last time in 2020, the number was 1.1 million. So way to go to all those people like in Bucks County and all over the place who never have done this before. That was a compromise. I'll do mail-in ballot, but I'm going to drop it in there. They have never done that. Thank you for doing it. It gives us a good shot going into tomorrow. By the way, one parting area with Kamala Harris, she's refusing to comment on this referendum that's coming up tomorrow in California to crack down on shoplifting. How in the world a former attorney general senator from California can't say yes? I've taken a look at this. It's straightforward. We have to crack down on that. Nope, not going to make any comment on that. All right, you heard Bill O'Reilly, 855-839-1210. Let me give you the side question we'll get to after Scott. Side question today is hit us with that all-time song that gets you hyped up, gets you going, charges you up, because that's what's needed. And if you want to tell us to get other people charged up, what time are you getting to the polls tomorrow? What is your plan if you haven't done the early voting mail-in? So hit us with that song that gets you fired up. I'll give mine coming up. We'll get Henry's. We'll get Dan. But I'll give you one. I have a couple here. God bless the USA, Lee Greenwood. Particularly at a time like this. But it might be just something that physically gets you going. Rocky, for example. All right, 855-839-1210. Simple one today. What is that song? But it's all in the telling. Tell us why. What is it about it that does that? When you call in, get your name into the hat. To start off a huge week here on Talk Radio 1210. 855-839-1210. That's the way to get in. Next, we have Scott Presler. What is he thinking on the eve of the election? Hey, Philadelphia, South Jersey. I am so happy to be telling you again about my great friend and impresario when it comes to your home. That's Diane Giordano. Are you seeing those price-reduced signs popping up everywhere? It's not the market's fault. If your home isn't priced right or staged to shine, it's just going to sit and sit and sit and keep on sitting. You don't want that. Diane Giordano has been helping homeowners avoid those dreaded price cuts for over 30 years. She's got the know-how to make your home look its best, sell fast, and sell for top dollar. It's all about smart pricing, expert staging, and creative marketing. A little investment in a well-thought-out pricing strategy can mean thousands more in your pocket. Yes, I said thousands. So before you put that for sale sign up, give Diane a call. She'll help you make your home irresistible to buyers and get it sold fast, sometimes just in 2 days. Want to know more? Call Diane now at 215-576-8666 or visit her at 215-576-8666.com. Get a copy of her new book, Model Home Mindset. Reach out to Diane now. Get moving on this. This is the person for years we've told you. Get that home sold fast for top dollar. 215-576-8666.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
The following is a paid commercial message.
27 years in politics has changed Bob Casey. He's just not the same anymore. In Washington, Bob Casey voted to let biological men compete against our girls in their sports. And Casey introduced a bill to force hospitals to perform sex change operations against their beliefs. Letting men compete against our daughters? Forcing hospitals to perform sex changes? It's just not normal. But that's how liberal Casey is these days. Casey also voted for higher taxes on seniors' Social Security benefits, too. Casey even voted for a bill that could raise out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors. Higher taxes on Social Security? Raising drug costs for seniors? Come on, Casey. It's just not right. Bob Casey's gone way too liberal for Pennsylvania. After 27 years, we need a change. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Hey, it's Nick Kale, and you know how important online privacy and security is these days. That's why I subscribed to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. It's a 3-in-1 privacy subscription service that helps protect your personal info from being exploited by hackers, scammers, privacy-invasive companies, and so much more. Plus, it's from DuckDuckGo, so you know it's legit with Privacy Pro. DuckDuckGo's VPN secures your Wi-Fi connection anytime, anywhere. Secondly, it has identity theft restoration. If your identity gets stolen, DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro helps you restore it. And third, personal information removal. This one really blew my mind. Have you ever searched your name online and noticed how many sites are selling information about you? Try it yourself. Privacy Pro will help you remove your personal info from those creepy sites so they don't share or sell it. How cool is that? Get all of this for $9.99 a month, and as my listener, if you go to duckduckgo.com/1210, you'll get an exclusive 7-day trial for free on me. That's duckduckgo.com/1210.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
Very nice, Henry. I can't finish a show with that. Soon you'll be doing the Coming to America, but you know what? That's appropriate. What should be the theme song for Scott Presler? It is a Presler pep rally today, one day before the election. Let's go to Scott Presler. How fired up are you today, Scott?
I'm ready to win. This is 10 years of hard work, all coming to the culmination of Election Day tomorrow, Tuesday, November 5th.
Well, Scott, you were in the middle of Bucks County. If that doesn't fire people up, what was going on there? We had several people, Jim Worthington, J.D. Mullane is a great reporter, columnist out there. What's your takeaway from what they were doing in Bucks County?
Well, the Democrats were wearing these phony voter protection badges that said Dems on them, and they were telling people that the line was cut off, or they were telling people that it was going to be an hours-long wait. And, you know, this is coming from, I thought the Democrats were the party of helping voters and, you know, empowering voters, and here they are trying to deter Republicans from voting. And I can tell you, you know, although anecdotally, I've been to Allegheny and Beaver and Bucks and Pike, and all across the Commonwealth, the majority of people voting in person early were all Republican. And so because of that disenfranchisement, the RNC sued, thank you, Chairman Whatley, thank you, Co-Chair Laura Trump, and they extended 3 additional days of voting. And I can tell you that we used every hour and every second of those 3 additional days to lock in as many Republican votes as we could.
What are you going to do tomorrow, Scott? Where are you going to be? What are you trying to do tomorrow?
I want the Democrats to know that I could show up anywhere. I could show up in Lehigh or Northampton or Philly or Bucks or Center or Pike or Wayne or Erie or Allegheny or Beaver or Butler or Washington or Westmoreland. I just could be anywhere across the Commonwealth. And again, I want to make it very clear because I know that the Secretary of the Commonwealth, Al Schmidt, does listen to the show, and other Democrat people do listen to the show. Any cheating when President Trump wins tomorrow, anyone who we have on record that has been doing illegal or unlawful electoral machinations, you will be caught. We will have evidence of it, and you will be prosecuted, and you will be taken care of peacefully. I say that very peacefully. But I want to make it clear that we have a machine. We have eyes. We have ears. We have technology, and we have people on the inside of boards of elections all across the Commonwealth. And when President Trump wins, we will be making sure that every single case of voter fraud is taken care of.
Well put. And Scott, to that point, look, we have a friend in Lancaster, D'Agostino, on the board there, commissioners, and I've had the DA on before, and I like her. And I know they don't want to get ahead of themselves, but we had this abrupt, now it's been over a week. The Monroe County DA goes on Facebook and says some things about what they're finding. I just don't know, though, and I know they don't want to be accused of election interference. I think the public's got to know in a little bit more concerted manner about, well, one outfit that this seems to point to. We don't have to say names now till this is proven, but they have to tell us a little bit more. Everybody keeps on saying the system caught it. I'm not so sure about that across the Commonwealth. What about you?
Look, none of that matters to me. The only thing that matters is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. The only thing that matters is what happens on Election Day. I need every Republican to come out. I have killed myself. I have killed my body. I have no energy left. I have laid everything out on the field. The only thing that matters is you guys voting tomorrow. I need every single Trump supporter. I need every hunter. I need every veteran. I need every Christian. I need every member of the Jewish community. I need anybody that believes in freedom for the next generation. If you don't want to go to war, if you want to be able to afford things, if you want to have peace and safe streets and prosperity, then you got to vote. I have done, Dom, all I can do. I've given every ounce of my body to this, and now I need everybody else to step up. I can do no more to help. I need people to vote.
Let me say to you, I live by the idea you can always push yourself to unbelievable levels, but the ultimate honor is you have done that. I cannot say Scott Presler could have done this, that, or whatever. It is the most remarkable story of this election, other than at the big Trump, all that, Scott. It is astounding what you've been able to accomplish and how you've rallied people by what you're doing. Then there's the entertainment factor. Let's face it, you're pretty funny. The entertainment factor, that galvanizes people.
Thank you. Well, I think people see that I've been doing this earnestly, and I truly care, and I truly love our country. And I love it so much that I picked up my entire life just to move to Pennsylvania. And I've already voted. I voted in Beaver County, Pennsylvania, my ballot. I've tracked my ballot. If I'm going to say anything else important on your show, I think this is very critical. To any voter that's listening right now, and you have already voted by mail, or you have already voted early in person, I want you, please, to track your ballot status right now. Remember how I always told you to check your voter status? I want you to track your ballot. Type into the internet, Pennsylvania ballot tracker. And it's going to be one of those websites that's like pavoterservices.pa.gov, but it's going to say something about tracking your ballot. Now, when you put in your first name, last name, date of birth, and your county, don't freak out if it says ballot returned. For some reason, the Pennsylvania Department of State uses terrible terminology. Returned just means that the Board of Elections received your ballot.
That's right.
So if it says returned, don't freak out. And remember that no ballots can be counted until tomorrow, Election Day. So if you're worried about it not being recorded or whatever, they can't legally open your ballot. So check your status, please. And I just spend the next 36 hours getting everyone out to vote, guys. This is your decision. We can win. I mean that. We're winning early voting in Florida, Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, and we have 32% of the early in-person vote in Pennsylvania, which is astounding. We can win. So use these next 36 hours wisely, please.
Scott, I did that very same thing. I've checked it a couple of times. There's no Dominic Giordano with an error on that, at least with the tracker, et cetera. That's a good point to people because they still have time to make a correction. Scott, I hope to talk with you tomorrow night, and I hope we know a little bit more. But again, this has been, to me, I've interviewed thousands of people, but nobody that has done what you've done on a personal level. And look at how, just to remind you, as if you need it, how much the staff, people supported you and came forward, and how much your movement grew. And it truly is a Presler movement going across Pennsylvania.
Thank you. And last thing, please, because tomorrow's Election Day, just bear with me. If you have ordered a mail-in ballot, guys, and you haven't received it yet, call your Board of Elections right now, have them cancel it, and go tomorrow and vote in person, please. Exactly. And then last thing, last. I promise I'll shut up. Please vote tomorrow, even if they tell you that you have already voted or someone voted for you, or if there's a problem, vote a provisional ballot. Demand a provisional ballot and vote anyway. It is your right to vote, guys. Don't let anybody disenfranchise you. Trump 2024.
Thank you, Scott. Talk soon. Take care, Scott Presler. All right.
Bye.
It's been honored to have a pipeline to this guy as he's done what he's done. What a journey here. Hey, by the way, the second gentleman, I thought we were supposed to believe women, so that woman who accused him of slapping her around, we know about the nanny. He gave extended interviews in which the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, knows what the appeal of Trump is to young men. He says, it's a hustle. You're being hustled. Do these people not know any other language than demeaning when somebody says, I don't like this about Trump, I don't like that, but I like the policies? Maybe what these young men are saying, it's not Trump per se. He just burst this hole open. They're sick and tired of this nagging, anti-male, toxic masculinity machine called the Democrat Party. Maybe it's not Trump per se. Maybe he's right that he helped to give people an entree. They paid attention to this because it's funny, interesting. And then when they did, they went, yeah, why not? We'll see if they're going to vote tomorrow, though. That's the big if. And are Democrats going to come out en masse tomorrow? That's their argument, since they're not going crazy in mail-in balloting here in Philadelphia. I say no. I say no way do they come storming out tomorrow. They don't like the vote on Election Day by and large. That hasn't happened. Why is Harris going to be magically someone who can do that? All right, get in on the side question. I gave you God Bless the USA. I'm going to take off to the great Eminem, Lose Yourself. Henry, I'm not sure how long you've been with the show. You know my predilection for that, because he hits it what the moment is when it's your moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I despise a lot of stuff about him. Let's face it, domestic violence and all that stuff. But on that, he gets it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There was no song in middle school that I would go to more before, like a basketball game
there you
or something,
go.
Besides Lose Yourself. You got to get in that zone in that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah, so in terms of that, going off what you said about hype song, I kind of brought it into, man, what would I intro my own radio show with? And I ended up on The Joker and the Thief by Wolfmother.
Okay,
I think this intro with the guitar and then the drums coming in gets me feeling some type of way. It really does.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. So we got some. That's what we're looking for you. I should have asked Scott Presler. God only knows.
Oh, man.
It's got to be heavy metal.
Something higher. Yeah, something that just rips.
Yeah, exactly. All right, hit us with that. We'll get Dan's at 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Jump in with that most hyped song. And how are you feeling today? What are you looking at? We'd love to know. Tomorrow, it comes down to, does Philadelphia come out and vote? The young men vote. Do young women in the suburbs over the abortion thing, do they come out in inordinate numbers? All unknowables, but we have great coverage tomorrow night. Election night coverage here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, cap off NFL Week 9 with a chance to win on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins on tonight's game. Here's a great same-game parlay. Take Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I would always take the over with that guy. Travis Kelce. Let's see. Is this a home game tonight? Yes. Taylor Swift will be there. All right. Take over receiving yards. Take Cade Otton.
My guy.
I don't know him, Henry.
He's
Anytime touchdown?
the Bucs tight end. He's been doing very well lately.
Okay. All right. We'll take him for an anytime touchdown. That's a sample parlay. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom to make every moment more this season. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. Yet to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Dreaming of a new bathroom?
Emmons Remodeling can turn your dreams into reality.
From modern shower or bath surround upgrades to complete remodels, our team of designers and remodeling construction experts deliver stunning results. We use high-quality materials to ensure that your bathroom will look great and last for years to come.
Call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit online at callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
There it is. There's Henry dunking coming in. That gives you a few extra inches of jumping ability. The great Eminem.
I need all I can get to.
In the Dom Giordano show. Now, I couldn't dunk a ball. I could hit over the rim. I couldn't palm it, though, and I couldn't jump high enough to do a two-handed dunk. But I come close to, you know, I just
that's
can't
closer
palm
than I ever could.
Yeah, palming it is the secret. All right. This from a police source. Here are the Democrats tonight, Philadelphia Inquirer. You going to print this? That don't want to have any fences, don't want to have any borders and all that. This right from the police procedures. Uh-oh, that I have. How did that fall into enemy hands here? Tonight, the concert will be enclosed by a fence. Possible that spectators will attempt to gain entry illegally by jumping the perimeter fence or otherwise, attempting to gain unauthorized access through any number of points of entry. If they're caught, and the facts present permit, they may be charged with one or more of the following violations. 18 PA C.S. 3503B, defiant trespass, jumping the fence, entering through breaks. They may be charged with 18 PA C period S period 3304, criminal mischief. They may be charged with 18 PA C period S period 5503, disorderly conduct. For example, standing or jumping on automobiles or other conduct which satisfies the requirements of the statute. Wow. Where officers of detaining fence jumpers, supervisors will be called to the scene prior to another approval. Curfew violations. You know, isn't it amazing? The party that you know it and I know it and everybody knows it opened that border and doesn't give a damn. They want to flood the country and they've done it. Tonight, though, you heard what I just read you, all these regular. Come on in, Philadelphia Inquirer, can you make that point? Well, what kind of point is this MAGA host making here? Of course we don't want people jumping the fence. Oprah's there, Lady Gaga. They might have a free concert. But coming into the country illegally? Well, yes, of course we want that. It's a broken immigration system. Well, maybe this is a broken concert system here, Henry. Maybe the concerts, et cetera, cost too much. It's too hard. They can't get close enough to it. These poor children, this might be the only time they ever are within good sight distance of Lady Gaga. The one time in their life because they cannot afford it. So, broken immigration system, broken concert system. Don't you think they should have a shot? If they're able enough to be jumping fences, shouldn't they be able to get as close as their little heart desires to see the great Lady Gaga tonight, let alone Oprah?
I would think so, right?
Yes.
You put in all that effort.
Yeah, it's a broken system. So there we go. All right, 855-839-1210. Judy in Westchester on the side question. Hey, Judy, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Judy. What do you have today?
I have this song.
Yes, go ahead. What is it?
Who Let the Dogs Out?
All right, that's always a good one. Judy, turn your radio off the next time, please. Wait a minute here. Some website is listing me at 5'8", Henry. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I've been hearing. That's the word on the street.
What website?
We're going to have to ask Joe and find out.
Joe in Bordentown. Joe, say it ain't so. What website?
Truth Buddy, and I looked at another one, and it still says you're 5'8".
You know what? This is a communist plot. This is like shaving Castro's beard. Remember they're going to debeard him? Taking away my height, Joe. What can I? Next it'll be the hair. Next they'll say it's a wig. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
that's what I'm looking for, but I haven't found that yet.
5'8". And what unit? Are they using the metric system or something?
It says Dom is of average height, 5'8".
Oh, God. All right. Roe's going to have to call the show to verify. Who can I get in here that's an unimpeachable source? I'll go back to back against Dan on YouTube here. We'll see. They're probably saying Dan's only 5'11".
That might be a bad look. Maybe me, someone who's not as quite as tall as Dan. Because with Dan next to you, yeah, someone might make the argument, yeah, you look 5'8" there.
Can you imagine? All right. What is your song, Joe?
It would be Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen.
Oh, yes. Yes. The build-up. It's all in the build-up, Joe. That might be a winner, Henry. That does it for me.
Definitely a contender.
Oh, yeah, definitely a contender. It gets you to that point that something big is going to happen. Yeah, that delivers, without a doubt. All right, coming up. What the heck is this with Dan? Oh, we're going to speak with Senator David Perdue from Georgia. Now, this is all hands on deck. He's here to talk Trump. And, he lost in 2020, but I wanted to ask him what he thinks of the voting in Georgia now. A little bit later on, the pollster, Robert Cahaly, predicted Trump win in 2016. He's got his final poll. I'm going to ask him about the Iowa poll, too. 855-838, 5'8". I'm having trouble finishing it. I need a break.
Yeah. How are you supposed to continue after that?
What the heck? 855-839-1210. You get hit.
The economic uncertainty surrounding this year's election is worse than ever before. But crash-proof consumers rest easy. Their retirement future is election-proof.
I'm Rochelle Porto, Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Leading up to the election, we're seeing how bad the economy is and how worried people are. I was looking for a way to secure my investments. That's why I joined Crashproof in 2014. There's no fees, no risk, and growth every year. My principal has never gone down. I've always earned every year. Everything I've earned in that year creates a new principal, so I'm never going to lose what I actually put in. I've got the freedom to live out my dreams, and I've got the peace of mind to know that my retirement's going to go the way I want. No matter what happens on November 5th, 2024, I'm safe. I'm with Crashproof Retirement.
Learn how you can election-proof your retirement future. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Dawn Stensland here. We're off to paradise once again, the Italian Riviera, on a gastronomical event that only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in Italy. A+ rating with the BBB. Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita, Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre, $53.78. That includes your airfare, dining events at the wineries in Tuscany, even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Toll free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Hidden Italian villages you've never seen, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, and Milan. And concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque Terre. Tell them Dawn sent you.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She was the deciding vote for his disastrous economic agenda. Kamala and Joe raised taxes on the middle class, and prices soared. Kamala was in charge of his open border policies, giving welfare to illegals while Americans struggle, and their weakness invited wars. Now Kamala wants to double down on failure. It's time to turn the page on Joe and Kamala's failed agenda. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower and the border secure. Now, President Trump can do it again.
And we are going to launch a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Remember, Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President 2024 Inc.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Just so you know, I'm doing a hit on Newsmax today at 3 o'clock. I wanted to wear the headset. I think it looks more realistic. Dan says no, so he's bringing me in different earpieces.
Little earbuds.
Earbuds, and I don't like them, and he cleaned them in front of me. He knows how I am about that. I'd want a team of doctors in here to do that. But joining us, they're bringing out everybody today as we get to the finish line. What is it like in Georgia? Critical state. I say Trump wins Georgia, particularly the voting reforms. Joining us is from Georgia, Senator David Perdue, here on Talk Radio 1210. Senator, welcome back to Philadelphia. We've talked a couple of times over the years. Thanks for joining us today.
Dom, I love your show. Thank you for having me again. We have been on your show several times. I used to live in Easton, for a while up there. So I love the good state of Pennsylvania. Things in Georgia look very good. Early voting is historic. We don't have that many absentee ballots this time. And President Trump has made a lot of stops. In fact, I was with him last night in Macon, Georgia. We had about 10,000, 12,000 people inside the stadium. We probably had another at least 12 to 15 outside trying to get in. So, I mean, it was one of those great nights. He's going to be in Pennsylvania today, in Reading and in Pittsburgh. So this guy is working hard. Then he goes to Michigan for 2 stops. He's out working her right now. But in Georgia, I believe if we get the turnout tomorrow, like I think we will, he's going to win Georgia.
Now, the Georgia election laws, we go back to Major League Baseball, the disaster there by them refusing to hold the All-Star game in Atlanta. And yet we found out later, Senator, we did a lot on this, and you probably know, but to remind listeners, all the relationships they had with Communist China, that was fine. And all that you people did in Georgia, the organizations there, was come up with something practical that's going to make us believe this time that the result is not shenanigans going on, and voting has increased.
It has. Voter confidence is up because President Trump has told people nationwide, really, Dom, to vote early. You know, in the past, Republicans waited until Election Day and this and that, and things happened. But, you know, we were always fearful. But let me just say this. If someone hasn't voted, they need to vote with confidence. If they don't vote, it is a vote for the other side, regardless of how they vote. So what we have done is I have been involved 100% with the campaign over the last 6 months, you know, just helping them build confidence around the country in what has been done and what is being done to make sure that everybody's vote counts, that only registered voters, legally registered voters get counted, and that this election will be a fair and transparent election, which is all anybody should want.
Yeah, absolutely. So North Carolina, you know, I see some polling there, and I know Trump went back to North Carolina, but if Trump doesn't win North Carolina, that would be the shock of the century. What's your feeling in the circles you're traveling in? I'm not saying it was done intentionally, but the woman blew it in Iowa with the final poll there. Then there's a poll moments after that shows Trump up by 10 points. Trump is not going to lose Iowa. There's no way, shape, or form.
No, and you know, I just laugh at these polls this late in the race. You know, they really, most of them don't mean much. What really means a lot is, like in North Carolina, the mobilization that Republicans have had is remarkable. In the absence of the federal government, by the way, the Harris administration, they just they whiffed it. You know, FEMA couldn't be found for a few days. I know I was up there. But let me say this. I really am hopeful that people this time can compare two very recognizable and visible records. We have Harris's record and we have Trump's record. And if you go back and look at the 4 years, nobody can argue that he had one of the most successful administrations in the last 100 years, if not forever. Great economic turnaround, made the world safer, stood up to China, stared down Kim Jong-un, got us out of that insane Iranian nuclear deal, and moved the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. And this man did a lot. No wars were started during his administration.
Absolutely. Now, we know the big issues, the grinding on the middle class with inflation, the border, particularly in the state where you are, Georgia, the consequence, Lake and Riley and others. But I'm glad to see, and I wrote about this a little while ago, the sleeper issue, the transgender stuff in sports, that the Trump people spent a lot of money because they recognize what I do, that Harris would not back away from that. And that's a tell to people. They're thinking, who but a radical would support boys or men in girls' sports?
It's such a fringe. It's a subtle exposure of how radical she is. I worked with the woman in the United States Senate, Dom, and I can tell you, she didn't come to meetings. Her people didn't like working for her. And I think she's been entitled for long to get but less than 0.5% in the primary. You know, she was appointed to the Senate. So, I mean, this is just all of a sudden woke up one day and now she's running for president. And the more she speaks, and I love what CNN has done, Dom. You called this out. I think I caught this when I was up in Philadelphia a month or so ago. Even CNN now is talking about her non-comments, basically calling her ability to use word salad to try to explain her position. So she's being exposed, as you rightfully call out. But the contrast between what a Harris administration will be and what we know the Trump administration will be, ought to get everybody off the couch and go vote. This is not about their grandkids. This is about us right now, standing up to China, getting inflation under control, getting our economy going. And what Trump wants to do is build a manufacturing renaissance, which would benefit the good people of Pennsylvania just like the good people of Georgia. And I'm all in. He is going to make that happen if we can get him elected Tuesday.
Senator, welcome home. Part of your second home. Welcome second home here. Hope that we hear from you again in a Trump administration. You'd be a great addition, but let's get over to the finish line tomorrow.
Tom, God bless you. I mean, Tom, tomorrow is the big day. If anybody hadn't voted, please encourage them to vote. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Senator David Perdue. Who knows who might appear next here, Henry? Anything's possible. He's been on a few times over there. This is what happens in the last days, the last push, and it tells you this is going to be close. I see that Nate Silver has a 12% chance of an electoral Harris landslide, all right, meaning the battleground states. And then he has a 24.6 chance of a Trump landslide. Now, Silver does this, and he's very good day to day. I don't see either of that. I see this coming down to the wire. But I'm starting to think, based upon several factors, we're going to know by earlier on Thursday than I thought. Maybe even late on Wednesday. All right, like, 9, 10 o'clock, suddenly you hear somebody's called it. Then the lawsuits will begin. But I do think it's not going to be like Saturday the last time or even Friday. There's no way it goes past Thursday, although it's going to be very close. We got great people coming on tomorrow. We're going to have Tom DeBello out there in Montgomery County, the commissioner, right there where the vote is being certified, if you will. The counting, the real counting areas. All right, we're going to have Laura Trump on. And I hope to get you Kevin Kelly. He's one of the guys leading the charge in Philadelphia. Boy, Henry, you watching Fox here? Elise Stefanik is glammed up from this. This is like a before and after. Dan, you know her. Tell me that. Is that Elise Stefanik? Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Wow, what's up with that? Are they getting ready for a big night here? That's like a Hollywood thing here.
It's the eyes.
The eyes, yes.
Deep
it's
brown
the deep, the brow and the foundation over the whole face. Wow, big time stuff. This is a tough campaign. We need a makeover. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. You got the side question today at 1:30. We're going to talk with pollster extraordinaire Robert Cahaly. He predicted Trafalgar. He predicted the big win for President Trump when no one else did in 2016. What does he say about Iowa? What does he say about Pennsylvania? And what does he say about this overall, where we are? Let's go to cut 11 here, Henry. Here is Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, telling us in a final argument that voters are anti-woman and anti-American if they support Trump.
It gave me a chance to tie the Republicans running in these seats, the incumbents, closer to Donald Trump and remind everybody if you're voting for these Republicans in New York, you're voting for someone who supports Donald Trump and you're anti-woman, you're anti-abortion, and basically you're anti-American because you have just trashed American values and what our country is all about.
All right, so you're anti-American now if you're voting that way. One other thing, too, Miranda Devine, and I wanted to talk about this. I don't think it's a stretch. Miranda Devine, great column today, how Liz Cheney and Peanut, the squirrel, became the bizarre closing symbols of the 2024 election, freedom versus authoritarianism. How do the Cheneys get off now being celebrated when they were routinely called what they are? They want wars. They want these unending wars. The whole family, Dick Cheney. How does he get out of the Iraq war again? That's not something Trump would have gotten into. But Peanut the squirrel, and I get it, people not liking of a squirrel, but it seems to be the squirrel had not bothered neighbors or done anything. This guy Longo had trained the squirrel. Apparently the squirrel was brilliant. I see it doing all kinds. It was called the Elon Musk of squirrels. I don't know. If we're using, I thought we'd say Einstein, not Elon Musk now, because that's a little bit of an overrated thing here. They came in, raided his house, took the squirrel away in New York, and euthanized the squirrel. And people this late into the campaign are saying things along the lines of Don Jr. and J.D. Vance at a rally. Here's what they said about the killing of Peanut, the squirrel, cut 17.
They know that's coming across our border, and they allowed it to happen anyway. This is not sane. They're not worried about any of that. They'll allow that to happen. But if someone adopts a baby pet squirrel, justice for Peanut. No, but think about it. Our government will let in 16,000 rapists, they'll let in 13,000 murderers, they'll let in 600,000 criminals across our border. But if someone has a pet squirrel without a permit, they go in there and kill the squirrel. Think about it. Like, that's the Democrat Party. That's where they'll go. That's their overreach. They want to control every aspect of your life. The big stuff, the stuff that matters, the stuff that's killing our kids, destroying our neighborhoods. That's different. We got to follow the woke playbook. Change it all on November 5th. Yes, it is. Change it all.
So I know Don's fired up about Peanut the squirrel. We were on the way down here from Cincinnati. He was like, is it really the case that the Democrats murdered the Elon Musk of squirrels? And I said, yeah, it sounds like, have you seen the videos of this squirrel? He's a genius, or he was, unfortunately, but the same government that doesn't care about hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrant criminals coming into our country doesn't want us to have pets. It's the craziest thing.
All right, so, the other side thinks, what does this have? Peanut the squirrel, what's this have to do? It's anything, but they don't like it, like the thing that I mentioned, the transgender and sports thing. The Trump people spent about $35 million on ads around that, and they were right to do that. It's a tell. It's a subtle thing that gets you inside how the Harris and that side think. It's in addition to the big things. Of course, inflation, the border. 855-839-1210. You get on board. So at 1:30, we'll talk with Robert Cahaly. There's another big rally, the closing rally tonight for J.D. Vance. We'll talk to Jim Worthington. Yep, it's at the NAC. He'll be here at 2:15. If you're looking for something because of anxiety or whatever and you want to get out and do that. Also, I'll be speaking tonight. Row along for this one because there's a Ralph's deal in it. So at the Columbus statue in South Philly, our buddies Joe and Jody Della Barbara will be there, and it's a rally to remind people to show up and vote tomorrow and to get others to vote. South Philly is incredibly important. There are a lot of Trump voters. Do they come out tomorrow? Let me know your plan. We had a couple who were turned away in Bucks County last week. Tell me they pulled into a parking lot and said, yep, 5 a.m. I think it was Stephanie, was the wife. On Election Day, they're going to be there, ready to go. There's going to be no turning around. They want to get that done and make sure that vote's in there early on. And I think that's going to be the way for a lot of people. If you're not stunned by what they did in Bucks County, and they did do that, there's no excuse. After the judge told them to open up, they had millions of dollars in resources. Hire more people, bring more people from other departments, get the right printers in there. You could have brought 40 of them and move people through. One mom and son duo, 8 hours it took them to vote. 8 hours. What they're saying is, hey, you don't want to show up and vote the way that we tell you. We know you're Trump supporters. We'll make it hell. We'll go as long as we have to go. That's true. You'll be able to vote. We're not going to make it easy. And Bucks County votes for this. Trump is going to win Bucks County. You'll see tomorrow night. And I think Pennsylvania, but I'm sure Bucks County. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. More of your calls are next on Talk Radio 1210.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Join me today, 3 p.m. sharp. Big announcement. Our next Talk Radio 1210 WPHT Politics and Pints event, November 13th. I'll tell you exactly who's going to be hanging out with me that night, and you're definitely going to want to attend. I don't want to attend, but you're going to want to attend. All right? And no hints. I'm not giving any hints other than to say that he accuses me of shutting down bars with him on Saturday nights, and it's not my fault. All right? I will see you today at 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Throughout this campaign, I've seen the best of America, and I've seen what is holding you back and weighing you down. High costs, fundamental rights being taken away, and politics that too often have driven division. Next January, one of us will be president. If it's Donald Trump, he's made clear he'll wake up every day and stew over his enemies list. That will help no one. If I am president, I'll be focused on my to-do list for you, the American people. I'll cut costs by cracking down on corporate price gouging, make housing more affordable, lower taxes for 100 million Americans, and protect Social Security. I'll focus on you and getting things done. And now I'm asking for your vote, because as president, I will get up every day and fight for the American people. Let's get to work. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Hey, it's Nick Cale, and you know how important online privacy and security is these days. That's why I subscribed to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. It's a 3-in-1 privacy subscription service that helps protect your personal info from being exploited by hackers, scammers, privacy-invasive companies, and so much more. Plus, it's from DuckDuckGo, so you know it's legit with Privacy Pro. DuckDuckGo's VPN secures your Wi-Fi connection anytime, anywhere. Secondly, it has identity theft restoration. If your identity gets stolen, DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro helps you restore it. And third, personal information removal. This one really blew my mind. Have you ever searched your name online and noticed how many sites are selling information about you? Try it yourself. Privacy Pro will help you remove your personal info from those creepy sites so they don't share or sell it. How cool is that? Get all of this for $9.99 a month, and as my listener, if you go to duckduckgo.com/1210, you'll get an exclusive 7-day trial for free on me. That's duckduckgo.com/1210.
Free speech lives here.
The Dom Giordano program.
On Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Side question today. What else? Some song that hypes you up, gets you going either physically, emotionally. It's all in the tell of that. By the way, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court says now that undated mail-in ballots will not be counted in next week's election. And Johnny Dock's brother, who is a Democrat, but a guy who has, gone against the grain there at times, he wrote a concurrence. And he attacked the Commonwealth Court for its defiance. He wrote, "We've said those carefully chosen words only weeks ago, yet apparently they were not heard in the Commonwealth Court, the very court where the bulk of litigation unfolds. We said what we meant, and we meant what we said. The decision ends for now what has become a year-long battle over an incorrect date on the ballot's envelope." Look, the legislature set this up. And unless you prove there was some high-level constitutional violation, it's racial or something of that nature, the legislature gets to set with these mail-in ballots what counts, and you have to comply. There's this Judge Seisler on the Commonwealth Court who's kind of been a rogue on a lot of cases and driving that court. And now, unanimously, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court said no. Now, there are other issues out there. I hope the U.S. Supreme Court jumps in pretty quickly across the battleground states on any number of them. But for now, this seems to be final. These will not count. And this is bigger than just counting a few votes here and there, 1,000 or 2,000. It's about the legislature sets what the rules are for this stuff. It's already difficult enough with all the mail-in balloting, et cetera. It's great work by the Republicans on this. They have been all over election integrity, and I think they're going to. You're going to see this in Philadelphia tomorrow. All right, let's go to Bill in Montgomery County. Hey, Bill, good afternoon. What do you have on the side question today?
Well, I was kind of surprised that this wasn't taken off the board, but from Philly, I mean, what else? The theme from Rocky, going to fly now.
Yeah, I did say Rocky, but I'll allow it. You fleshed it out a little bit. I said Rocky.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. We got you on that, Bill. Yep. Yeah, Rocky's obviously a good one, particularly with Philadelphia and what's going on. Well, the Democrats actually have this energy. I'm talking about here in Philadelphia tomorrow to show up and vote when their mail-in ballot numbers are really down from before. I just think that this is the issue that they wanted to vote by mail-in ballot. They don't like showing up on Election Day and waiting in lines, et cetera. So I got to be convinced, and I don't think Harris does as well in Philadelphia as Biden did. Net, what she nets versus what Trump does. And if that happens, it's going to be difficult for them to win Pennsylvania. I don't think in the suburbs Trump does as badly as he did the last time. I think he's going to win Bucks County. So where is she going to get that margin? It was only 80,000 the last time. The mail-in ballot margin is only about 15,000. You know, by tomorrow, Election Day, even if it's 500,000, it was 1.1 million the last time heading into the actual voting on Election Day. All right, we'll see. And there's a stronger candidate running for the Senate this time. In that we have Dave McCormick is right there with Bob Casey. Where is it coming from? But it's going to be close. Probably take us 24 hours before we know Pennsylvania. But once we do, I think we'll know the result. All right, Pat in Washington Township. Hey, Pat, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon to you, too. I have to share my experience this morning. I dropped my granddaughter off at Monmouth University, and I have my earrings and Trump earrings and pins, and we went into the dining hall, and right away, a young man came over, said, I like your pin. I'm voting for him, talked a little. I said, here, you can have the pin. I have a lot more in the car. So I gave it to him. But that's not an unusual experience, because last week I went to Miracle Ear to get my hearing aids adjusted. The fella kept me in the office for a good half hour. Young man, college grad, talking about Trump and why he's voting.
Now, Pat, with the counter to this, the second gentleman has said today, extensive interview, these young men you're running into, this is just a hustle by Trump. He's hustling them, Pat. They don't know what they're doing. It's a hustle.
Well, she called them stupid. She called the 18 to whatever stupid.
Exactly.
But everywhere I go, I'm telling you, I'm at getting my eyeglasses at Boscov's. The girl, the same thing, young girl, talking for quite some time. And then Phone Soul went to lunch last week, the waitress. I wore a hat or a T-shirt or a pin or whatever. And I have not had one person say anything negative. And I am ready. I mean, I'm not going to argue. I just want them to say, why are you voting for her? And please do not mention Trump's name.
Gotcha.
I'm hoping somebody does, because I don't think they can answer it.
I'm glad you're working that, Pat. Give me your song that inspires you.
Aaron Lewis, Am I the Only One? When you scream at the TV, like, what the F, am I the only one?
Oh, yeah.
And also mentioned in that song about taking a bullet for the USA, and that was long before that actually happened.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank
you, Pat. Thank you. Glad you're running into good stuff. By the way, mentioning Jersey, tomorrow I know Matt Rooney's going to be on with me tomorrow night on election coverage, covering a lot of stuff in Jersey. Haddon Heights tomorrow is voting on rescinding, I believe DJ sent it to me, it's a 120-year prohibition against alcohol policy. Now, they do have breweries. I mean, it's Jersey screwing the way this works. They do have breweries, but they don't have alcohol in restaurants, for example, that kind of stuff. And it seems to be tomorrow they're going to put that aside, and Haddon Heights will no longer be semi-dry or dry. Some people are telling me Ocean City might do that at some point. I think it's a brand, though. May not do it, but 120 years of this. All right, is it just in time to celebrate a Trump win? Well, not in Jersey, but I mean across the board. All right, 855-839-1210. Let's go to Joe in Columbus, New Jersey on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe.
Good afternoon, Dom. Hey, if I could speak for a moment on this price gouging, because I got triggered by that Kamala commercial. Why we've lived in a capitalist society now for an eternity? Why can't these half-thinking liberals consider that or understand that? Why is this a recent phenomenon? Why hasn't the corporate entities
exactly
thought of price gouging? This administration, all they do is they redirect the blame. There's no price gouging going on.
Well, but look, I give them credit. When you have something, Joe, that is this startling and this obvious and this detrimental, that they can come up with anything in the world is remarkable. Consider, what would you do? What are you up against? Are you going to surrender and say, yeah, we did it, we're proud of it?
But, Don, the critical mind says, no. For all these years we've been in existence, and some mastermind just decided to think about price gouging. It's absurd. It's ridiculous.
Well, the whole point, you're right. How tight margins are, how you would get killed if you go outside that 1% margin or half a cent. You can't do it. And that's
Correct.
been the story in that business forever, and it will continue to be.
Right. I just can't believe the people that are buying into it. It's a weak mind. So my side question is, it's almost universal. It's a walk-in music for the best major league reliever of all time, Mariano Rivera, the best and always will be the best. And I attended a Virginia Tech game, and they have a walk-in. Enter Sandman.
Yeah, it is. That's a great one. That does get people, and I agree about Rivera, too. I mean, it's whatever his cutter was, you could see it. It just looked like the pitch exploded right away from the batter. I mean, it doesn't look like any other baseball in the power zone. Okay, here's where we're going. Coming up, Robert Cahaly, Trafalgar polling. What does he say about Iowa? What does he say about Pennsylvania? And what does he say about the battleground states? The guy who, arguably, their firm, Trafalgar, was the only one. You've heard him over the years with me, how they poll versus the others, how they were able to predict that Trump win when almost no one else had any kind of thought. It was a 98% that Hillary Clinton was going to win. Remember in Brooklyn, they had the fireworks on hold and the balloons and everything else. All right, 855-839-1210, though. You jump on board here on Talk Radio 1210. Let's talk. We already did FanDuel, Henry.
Oh, we got another one here.
Oh, yeah. No, unless I misplaced it. Okay, let me move forward here, and we'll get more action on FanDuel. That may be my fault. Let me tell you about Batteries Plus Bulbs. They're in Mount Laurel and Northfield, two big stores, one on Route 73, the other on Tilton Road in Northfield. And my friend Roy is looking for help. Now, we've told you this is the principal complex of Batteries Plus Bulbs. They have everything. He founded the first one here years ago. And so much business has come his way because of our listeners for anything. I mean, they, as he says every time I talk with him, tell your listeners, Tom, we power it, we light it, and we fix it. We figure out how to help customers. Customer service is key. That's what you get. Not just a phone, if it's a business, an energy audit, whatever it might be, that you need help with, I'm going to give you their phone number. Call them, and they will be right on it. 856-638-0778. 856-638-0778. Use that number, too, because they're looking for a handy do-it-yourselfer type of person. It's a great low-pressure, part-time job. Customer service is the key. So if you're willing to do what it takes to help, you need to talk to Roy. Batteries Plus Bulbs, Mount Laurel, Route 73, Northfield on Tilton Road. Give them a call at 856-638-0778.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
See Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at the Media Theater Saturday, November 16th, and Newman Goretti High School in South Philly Saturday, November 23rd.
I loved it. I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure I'd like it, but I'll tell you, I'm glad I came. Best ever.
He reinvented himself. It was really good, man.
The music, the singing, everything.
That's Conklin and City Rhythm at the Media Theater November 16th, and Newman Goretti in South Philly November 23rd. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
They don't call her confiscation Kamala for nothing. Don't take it from us.
And I support a mandatory buyback program.
A mandatory buyback program? That means the government forcing you to turn in your firearms. To what lengths would Kamala go? Well, she doesn't even support the individual right to own a firearm.
I'm prepared to take executive action and put in place a ban on the importation of assault weapons into our country.
We get it. Sometimes it's tough to understand what she's talking about. But on the Second Amendment and your rights, confiscation Kamala has been crystal clear. Her gun control agenda comes straight from that petri dish of bad ideas that is California. She can claim to be a gun owner all she wants, but we all know she's the same anti-gun California radical she's always been. Don't be left defenseless. Defeat confiscation Kamala. Vote Trump like your life depends on it, because it does. NRA Political Victory Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. NRAPVF.org.
Businesses to watch. It's tailgate season at Armin Chevrolet. Armin offers an incredible lineup of SUVs. A 2025 Armin Chevrolet Trek starts at only $21,495. That's right, only $21,495. From the all-new Armin Equinox and Traverse to the stylish Blazer to the full-size Tahoe and Suburban, Armin Chevrolet has an SUV to fit your needs and budget. It's tailgate season, and Armin Chevrolet is the place to buy or lease your perfect Chevrolet SUV. Armin, where dealership meets friendship. Together, let's drive. Learn more at arminchevy.com.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Chilly and clear overnight, 47. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 62. Sunday, it'll be sunny, only a high of 60 though. And on Monday, it'll be a little bit warmer, high 67. By Tuesday, we're back in the upper 70s.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, note to self, after we're done talking with Robert K. Haley, let me tell you about meeting the Scandinavians who were in town. I got to speak to them on Saturday and what they said about young men voting for Trump polling in Norway.
I got to hear all about this.
Yeah, it was nuts. They were great people. I don't know if Robert K. Haley from Trafalgar has ever polled the Scandinavian countries. He might have. He's in Atlanta. He joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Robert, it all comes down finally. Great to have you of all people today. Robert, are you there? All right, Henry, I'm not sure what happened here. Let me put him on hold for a second. You can tell me if something has dropped or some gremlin in here. So I did speak, thanks to our great friend Robin Schaefer, to this delegation of about 24 people from Scandinavia who are here on a tour. Some of them have been listening to talk radio from Sweden. All right, let me go to Robin now. Robert Cahaly. Robert, welcome back. Big day, and certainly we want to hear what Cahaly has to say. How are you doing?
Just fine.
Good.
I'm trying to figure out how to get that polling gig in Scandinavia, though.
So, Robert, when you see this over the weekend, or maybe in polling circles, you knew it was coming. It's called the gold standard in Iowa and all this stuff. And I'm not saying there were hands on the scale there, but then there was another poll out 10 seconds later that had Trump up by 10 points. Do you think...
yeah, Emerson, that's a real gold standard.
Yeah. Do you think the campaigns react toward that stuff? If they do, they need to have better people, right?
Well, but first of all, it's one of those things where it comes out there and immediately it makes its way to drugs and immediately the mainstream media jumps all over it. But let's also remember this, it's kind of like grading on pollsters is a cumulative thing. So it's kind of like my grade point average. The last couple of years, I didn't do as well, but all those A's and B's in the beginning kind of saved me. Mm-hmm. And so this is also the pollster that said that Trump would beat Cruz, and the pollster said Nikki Haley would finish second by like 5 points over DeSantis in this year's Iowa caucus. So I don't know how that's a gold standard, but maybe if you got measured the way we get measured by everything in the last 10 years, they wouldn't call it gold anymore.
Absolutely. So give us your insight then. You go wherever you want in the battleground states. My just gut instinct and talking to people like you and following you, really, I just would be shocked if, say, Trump lost North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona. But I don't see him winning Michigan and Wisconsin. So it comes down ultimately to Pennsylvania in my mind. What does it come down to in your mind?
I agree with that. I'm hesitant about anything. I agree with the same ones you just said. Those all make sense to me. Michigan, I think, is a crapshoot. It really kind of depends on what happens with the reaction. If the campaigns did a good job of showing people the duplicity of the messages Kamala gave to the Arab and Muslim Americans in Michigan versus what she did around the country,
mm-hmm.
then and they sit home, then that could move that thing back across the Neal. That could move it there. But that was going to be difficult. Pennsylvania, I mean, we have a very narrow lead for Trump. And I mean, like 1.7. And 1.7 is while very small, is it's based on like, I think that's the 14th time we've polled that. So it's, between, well, actually, I think I've probably done it 7 times and Matt Towery's done it 7, but Matt Towery, who often seen on Fox News with me, and my partner in the Polling Plus podcast, so you can get wherever you get your podcast, type in polling with the first thing that comes up. Had to get that said.
Yeah. Well, but, let me ask you on that front with the Pennsylvania polling. I'm watching carefully. I still can't tell, and I wanted to get your instinct. The early polling looked good. We had people here last week in Bucks County. You've heard about it nationally. In line 4 to 6 to 8 hours, and they were 90% most likely Trump people who don't trust this system, wanted to vote mail-in, but wanted it right there. And I have the numbers this morning from a couple of sources. Looks like Democrats in the mail-in ballot early voting are ahead by about 415,000, which is not anywhere
near as many as they had before.
Yes, in 2020 on Election Day, it was 1.1 million. And I think a lot of this is Trump. So I'm being told by the other side, Democrats are going to show up en masse here in Philadelphia. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow, but I don't see it. I mean, on the ground here, Robert, I would tell you it's relatively tepid. She would have to do in Philadelphia, Harris, what Obama did, and she's not Obama. I don't see it.
No, she's not, and there's not the same enthusiasm at all. And this is something, I don't know, I could speak more specifically to Atlanta.
Right.
And we're seeing the same thing. Georgia needs a 30% African-American turnout to do what they have to do. And right now they're at like 27. And the thing is, they usually get like 31 or more in early and absentee voting. And so they're actually making a bigger gap than they've ever made up. And so everybody's like, what, they asked me, were you concerned about these precincts that were open in Georgia, that especially opened on Saturday, that the Republicans tried to get shut down and everything else? And I said, yeah, there's some concern there. And they turned up people, but the fact that they felt like they had to do that is what I think is significant. The fact they had to go to those extraordinary means is what's really significant, because they shouldn't have to do that. If their Souls to the Polls operation, which is really a very effective operation, had worked well this year, they wouldn't have had to do all that. And so I think that's significant. I think we see the same, lethargic response to a lot of votes in the Black community right now, and that's a very good sign. That's a very good sign right now for
Trump. Yeah. Wait a minute. We lost Robert Cahaly here, guys.
We'll
get Robert Cahaly back. So far, remember, this is the guy we've had on umpteen times. He's a character. They predicted, the only ones really that had it right in 2016, the Trump win. And I wanted to get his final thought here of where he thinks this ends up. So, Robert, where do you think this ends up? What are you looking for tomorrow into tomorrow night that will give you a more definitive feel?
Okay, so tomorrow night, what I would be looking for is, let's start with, if New Hampshire is close, if Trump's within 2 points, 3 points in New Hampshire, that's a very good, or if he wins New Hampshire, that is a good sign. New Hampshire will count their votes rather quickly. And they're all in Eastern time. So that's a very good sign for Trump. And if when Ohio counts, Moreno has won that one, because that one's, we got tenths of point difference in that one, then that's a good sign for Trump. On the other hand, if Eastern and Western North Carolina come in, that first North Carolina is going to look very, very blue, but that's because that's the research triangle coming in. So, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. I mean, literally,
right,
basically communism. But that place is a little scary. But but once Western and Eastern North Carolina come in, outside of Asheville, of course, which is might as well be in the research triangle, then if North Carolina looks like a 3 or more point win by Trump, that's a good sign. And so, I mean, and the main thing is with a lot of these bellwether counties, Bucks, stuff like that, look at what Clinton did there and what Biden did there. And the closer you get to Clinton, or better than Clinton, I mean, if Trump does better than he gets Clinton, it's going to be a very short night. If Trump is closer to Biden, then that tells you that he hasn't done what he needed to do on the election day vote.
I hear you, and I know you don't predict count. I'm predicting he wins, Bucks. That's what I see here. And after what happened to people last week, this has been a firestorm. So I would tell you, Robert, on election night, if he's not close.
Which thing last week?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, there's so many things.
Last week when they slow walked having people vote in person by mail in Bucks County, judges had to intervene. It was free for all here. It made a lot of news. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump wins Bucks County, or at least is very close to what happened with Clinton. He's not going to get shellacked like with Biden, and I think that'll be a tell to me, too.
Yeah, that's a big tell.
Robert, where do we find your work? Where do we find Trafalgar?
Well, we are on X, formerly known as Twitter, as Robert _Cahaly, Cahaly, or Trafalgar start again. Robert Cahaly, no hyphen, Trafalgar group are our two X handles, and then the TrafalgarGroup.org or TrafalgarGroup.com.
Robert, thank you, as always. Another great time having you on throughout this campaign. Thank you, Robert. Good luck tomorrow night in your predictions. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. How many times have we had them on? Dozens over the years, because I think they're polling. We went through it with you before, what they do that's different than others. Yeah, and I think he leans a little bit the Trump way. Not like Rasmussen, though. I don't think it's quite that. You heard his predictions. They pretty much mirror what I see, and I'm not polling like he is. But I think Trump wins Bucks County. It'll be close. It could go Harris's way, but it's going to be close. That's much better than what happened with Biden. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Coming up, we'll take more of your calls. I'll tell you some insights about Trump, a couple of glaring ones from the Scandinavians that were in town. It was one of the best events, except I had a timekeeper telling me my time was up just about when I started. Because my Robin had to go on about the whales, and they were getting antsy because, the wind and all. And he was saying they were big wind. This one guy from Norway, Olaf, no, I'm making that up. They were incredibly nice, and they offered two insights about the difference of Trump versus Harris, all the way from Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and the like. It was a great experience.
I have audio of the moderator when he
Yeah, let's hear the moderator.
How dare you?
It was like, I thought we'd get something.
And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you.
Why didn't you say that on Friday? I would have asked them what they think about Greta Thunberg. It was a study group, so they had to move on to another speaker, not as riveting. And Robin did something. So the woman says, all right, 1/3 of your time is up. And I'm thinking, I haven't said anything. Come on. I got them in the palm of my hands here. Give me some salmon.
We will not let you get away with this.
I should have brought that on tape. That might have been a little bit too much. I'll give you a couple of Trump insights, though, and your calls. At 2 o'clock, we're going to talk with Jim Worthington we're going to talk with the Fox News reporter sent here to cover Philadelphia for Fox News. What has he found so far, and what does he find tomorrow? He ought to come here. We'll let him hear listeners, and I think we're working on that. 855-839-1210.
I do think it's badass that Andrew Jackson beat a would-be assassin with a cane. I think that is the coolest thing. I mean, come on. Guy takes 2 shots at him, the gun misfires both times, and he's like, that's it. Like, I wish to God there were cameras back then to capture Andrew Jackson pummeling this guy with a cane.
It wasn't even his cane. He took it from another guy. He was that upset.
Give me that cane. Starts beating the crap out of the guy. Oh, man. That's the best thing I've heard all day.
Rich Zioli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, cap off NFL Week 9 tonight with a chance to win on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Now, new customers, you get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins on tonight's game. How about building a same-game parlay? Here's a simple one. Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing TDs. Is there any doubt with this guy? Buccaneers defense, not bad, but come on, Mahomes. Travis Kelce, well, she's going to be there tonight, I think. That's what I'm looking at. Over receiving yards. And Cade Otton, this is a Henry pick. Don't blame me. Anytime touchdown, go with that. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom to make every moment more this season. Now, FanDuel is a sportsbook partner, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. At to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team? $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale and Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Don't let cold season make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution for nasal congestion, Navage. Navage uses gentle suction to flush out your sinuses with refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all winter long. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at select Costco locations in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better fast. Check out Navage at your local Costco today. Navage, Navage, breathe easy.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535 or biglou.com.
Hey, Mount Laurel. We know your favorite station is WPHT. Tell your smart speaker to play 1210 WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
with Dom.
That's right, it's that time of the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dan Time with Dom, and just want to take a pause from election news real quick, just because I want Dom's reaction to this. There was a whole situation yesterday with Joel Embiid, who had some really negative stuff written about him by Marcus Hayes over at The Inquirer. Apparently shoved the Inquirer reporter Marcus Hayes for bringing up his deceased brother and his son and saying that essentially they'd be embarrassed for his performance. Dom, your thoughts on the shove by Joel Embiid?
Can't do it. Same thing with Jason Kelce, the Saint it one. All right, the guy says something, you say something back. You can't take his phone and just smash it there, right? He gets a pass, though. I don't think Embiid's going to.
Yeah? What do you think?
I think Embiid, the thing that happened with Embiid was a little bit more over the line than the phone with Jason Kelce.
I think there is some kind of truth to the notion that when reporters have to know that these are indeed human beings, though, and you can't be writing stuff that's, right. I feel like that kind of hits way too close. I don't know. But you're right, Tom. You're right. You can't be throwing shoves and getting physical with reporters.
Well, to the broader issue, the Sixers are just a sickening organization. I mean, it's sickening me what's going on. I'm sick and tired of hearing this. Yeah, we'll get back there when we can. They're one in a gazillion on the other side. And wins count now at the beginning of the year, maybe some more. Get your fans behind it. Embiid's ridiculous in this. He really is. They shouldn't give him $200 million if he can't play.
That was a genuinely personal question on Dan because I haven't asked you about that from a personal level, so I'm happy to hear that you are kind of where I'm at with this, too. Is you can't be shoving the guy.
No, I mean, look, what he wrote and all that. You can get in his face and go after him. You can tell him there's a line here personally, but you can't put your hands on the guy in this.
Did not think I'd ever see the day that Dom Giordano defends Marcus Hayes, but here we go.
Well, I didn't say that quite on it, but Kelsey enraged me more. All right, he called your brother a name and all that. You can't strut over and grab the guy's phone and then smash it, though, right?
Mess around and find out. I think that's what Marcus and that guy up at Penn State learned this weekend.
Oh, you're on that side then.
I am, yeah. Yeah, you can't just say anything, you can't just do anything and think there's not going to be repercussions.
Yeah, but if they're physical, there's going to be a lawsuit here, and we'll see around this.
My angle is Jason Kelsey incident proof that cancel culture is past?
Oh, that nothing happened?
Nothing. Well, no, I don't think anyone really wants to talk about what Jason Kelsey himself said in response there. He used to slur himself.
Yeah, he did. Exactly.
I think Jason Kelsey's to the point where he's so beloved, people they want to brush it under the rug.
I'm not in that camp with this guy. It's going way too far with the entire family to me, Dan. So you're right. He used the slur back to say, who's the blank now?
And it's funny because you know who become the most beloved of the Kelsey family? It's that side of the aisle. So it's fascinating that they've been largely silent on the entire situation.
Yeah, because you know why? They're not honest. They can't say, you know what? He did do that, to your point. Maybe more than the phone. Okay, coming up, we're going to talk with the Fox News reporter, Brian Yennis, who is here to cover Philadelphia. He's been here for a few days. What does he take the temperature of the turnout? And we'll see if he wants to come in and cover talk radio tomorrow to see what listeners have to say, too, on Fox News Channel. And then a big rally with Jim Worthington tonight over at the NAC. Yes, J.D. Vance, the closing rally. We'll cover it all and your calls. Talk Radio 1210.
Dawn Stensland here. We're off to paradise once again, the Italian Riviera, on a gastronomical event that only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in Italy. A+ rating with the BBB. Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita, Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre, $53.78. That includes your airfare, dining events at the wineries in Tuscany, even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Toll free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Hidden Italian villages you've never seen, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, and Milan. And concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque Terre. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hey there, you in aisle 2. I see you by the fiber and laxatives. You still using those to manage your constipation with belly pain? If your symptoms keep coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. So you may need more than over-the-counter treatments to manage it. Ask your doctor about how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
With natural disasters, 2 wars, and over 20 million non-residents adding additional stress on our economy, this year's election may determine the fate of your retirement portfolio.
Stephen Ridgey, Burlington Township, New Jersey. Government spending has to be paid for somehow, and they are going to be looking at any sort of tax that they could possibly do. When they start raising taxes on gains in the stock market that you haven't even realized yet, who knows how much money they want. The interest that I've made with Crash Proof is tax deferred. It doesn't get taxed, and this year with the Crash Proof retirement system, I've earned 7% interest, and it's compounded interest. There are no fees. I haven't had to shell out 1 penny of my own money. With Crash Proof retirement, I'm election proof. I'm in total control of my money.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, welcome in. It is Dom time. Be on Newsmax again today at 3 o'clock. Yesterday, I was on from home. Oh, my God. Look, TV is a strange thing. It's not like radio. I was scheduled to be on, and I still don't have that appearance from yesterday. I'll put up on Twitter when I do. Thanks to so many people who said they were going to watch. And Carrie Lake went long. It seemed like they couldn't shut Carrie Lake up. And when you're on TV, you're kind of gripped in the chair. It's on Zoom. I had a good backdrop, although Roe wants to get rid of the wicker bookcase after yesterday. Come on, the wicker's good. And I sat there from about 5:15 to about 5:40 without able to move until I finally got on. So I don't think it'll be that way today at 3 o'clock, talking about what else, the election. The Scandinavians were great people that I met, thanks to Robin Schaefer, touring the country, and they made 2 points, or 3. One guy said, hey, tell them, hey, it's a myth. If you come to Sweden, icebergs are not the sidewalks. We're not all blonde. I think I only saw 2 blondes there. A Norwegian guy told me that polls in Norway indicated, now remember, these are very liberal countries, 47% of young men, as defined, under 30, would vote for Trump if they could. That is astounding in a liberal country like that. Very liberal. The other point was, guy from Sweden told me how much they have ratcheted up their own defense spending. And he didn't argue. He wasn't saying that's due to Trump and we know Trump will let Putin overrun us or anything like that. He said pretty much that this is due to the point that Trump has been making that you have to defend yourself also, okay? They like the fact that the winner last week, something associated with Scandinavia, was Quisling. All right, they said, wow, that's a pretty intelligent audience. I don't know if they're listening. I told them if they're still listening today, wherever they are, to call in. We'll see. But it was, to them, a great opportunity. One asked, and he didn't ask in an argumentative way, this issue that comes up again and again and again, which is, well, Trump and Christians, how does that work? How is it that Christians are pretty staunchly behind Trump? And I explained some of the things, the policies and the whole thing and how we've gone back. And religious freedom, they were stunned by that. They didn't know, they knew the abortion stuff, but they didn't know that religious freedom was on the ballot this time around in America due to some of the annex of the Biden/Harris administration. But it was quite a fun thing and quite an experience. All right, you get in right now. Side question today. We need that song that really pumps you up on the eve of Election Day. That's what we're looking at. And you heard Robert Cahaly. They predicted Trump. You heard what, now tomorrow night we'll have election coverage, big election coverage. Rich, Jimmy Fallon, Nick, Dawn, and I, Matt Rooney, Mike Opelka will all be chiming in. From 7 till 11, depending upon if there's a break there at 11. Who knows? I don't think we're going to know anything really tomorrow night. until maybe into Thursday before we have something definitive. But you heard the tell that Cahaly picked out. If Trump is within 2 or 3 in a place like New Hampshire, let alone wins New Hampshire, which I don't see happening, if that's the case, that's an indicator of where things are going. And he did single out Bucks County as an indicator to watch tomorrow night. That's a good bellwether. Erie County's another one. These things are not definitive. But if you're looking for some early tells about where this is going, I don't expect anything but a close race down to the wire and Pennsylvania deciding. You heard what he said about North Carolina. Early returns, don't get nervous. This happened the last time, if you can remember. And certainly it happened in 2016. I think Trump's winning North Carolina, but the blue vote might be in earlier than the red vote for obvious reasons, particularly where the destruction is. But in the end, I see North Carolina as Trump. I don't see him winning Michigan, and I don't see him winning Wisconsin. And Cahaly sort of agreed. You can't have rose-colored glasses on with this. I'd be shocked if one of those happens, and I don't even know if we'll know tomorrow night. That would be decisive. That would tell you of, exactly. Here's Liz Cheney. We heard O'Reilly today breaking this down and saying how ridiculous it is what Trump actually said about Liz Cheney. And Liz Cheney put her in context as a warmonger. I can't emphasize, she was on The View today. This was more annoying than usual on The View. Here's what Liz Cheney said about Trump's comments about Liz Cheney.
He's called you a Muslim-hating warmonger, and then by far, in my view, the most serious direct threat against you. We have a clip of it.
She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
Now, Trump's campaign said he was criticizing your willingness to start wars and send American troops into combat without having seen combat. But now he's doubled down on his rhetoric, calling you a war hawk who wants to kill people unnecessarily and calling you a disgrace. What is your reaction to the clip we saw?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's said this nonsense about sort of, war hawk before. But what he did a couple of days ago, he's never done before. Taking the step of saying, 9 rifles shooting her in the face. And he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows it's a threat. It's an attempt
threat
to intimidate.
Yeah.
Obviously, the intimidation won't work.
All right. So we had O'Reilly on saying pretty much the same stuff. He'd say, not wise of Trump to engage in this because they're going to spin it toward this, but he didn't say anything like that. And the Cheneys are. This is what they want to do. Dick Cheney, Iraq. And I'm not saying they want to do it to make money or anything like that. This is what they believe in. This is America's role in the world. And Dick Cheney had, I think, 5 or more deferments during the Vietnam War. Liz Cheney has always been about this. This is the way they see it. And Trump, for a lot of reasons, but this is a big one. This is one of the things that Trump has changed in the Republican Party. This is a big deviation. When he did it early on in 2016, I thought this is never going to take. It did. The other day, Jon Stewart said, what is up with the patriotism of Republicans now? They don't want to get involved. If it were the Revolutionary War, then they would be the Tories. That's not the case. It's nothing like that. It just doesn't fly. All right, let's go to Robert in Bensalem on Talk Radio 1210. Robert, good afternoon.
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys today. If I could, Dom, I'd like to make my final prediction for the election.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm having Trump with 294 electoral votes, and I'm having Kamala Harris with 242. You'll notice one's missing. That's Michigan. I can't call Michigan.
But you have Trump at 294. Wow, that's a bold prediction.
Now, if Michigan swings, that's 309, but I don't know that, so I'm not going to say that. But I'm cool with 294. But the interesting thing is the population, the percentage vote in Bucks County will mirror the percentage vote in Pennsylvania, which will mirror the national percentage vote. I think Trump gets 50.2% of the popular vote.
Wait a minute. I call you on that. 50.2%. I say it's 50.1. Robert, you're really going wild here. 50.2%.
Well, we can debate the minutiae after we win. That's what I'm thinking about. But I'm looking at 294 and 50.1 or 2% of the popular vote. You can write that down and call me on it if I'm wrong, Dom.
Oh, tomorrow night I'll be watching that when we're doing our coverage. All right, what's your side? What is the song?
The song that fires me up without fail, I don't think it's going to win, but it is Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf. Every time I play it, I don't even bother with the air guitar. I go right to the air vocals. You guys have yourself a great day, okay?
Thank you very much. All right, the man coming into Philadelphia. The last few days I've seen him on Fox News covering Philadelphia. Brian Yennis is with us. Liberal poll on the watchstand. It's been quite a while. It tells you this is big stakes. He's coming up too. Hey, Brian, welcome to Talk Radio 1210. Welcome to Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Well, I like your work. I've seen you all over the place with Fox. How did you draw the lot to be covering Philadelphia during this maelstrom?
Hey, I got to tell you, I mean, this is now my third election cycle through Pennsylvania. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. This is where it all, this is what it's all about. This is where it gets decided. I grew up in Florida. That used to be the place, and now it's Pennsylvania, and so now I'm in Allentown, actually. We drove up here this morning, or last night, I should say, with Harris starting her first rally here in Allentown.
So I saw you, I think, reporting yesterday, it blurs together from Philadelphia. On the ground here in Philadelphia, it seems to me pretty tepid, meaning coming out and voting on Election Day. Even though there'll be huge numbers, I'm not seeing something historic, particularly on the Harris side. How would you say, covering elections as you have, the level of intensity, what do you see on Election Day as far as turnout?
It's interesting. 75% of the vote is still out there. When you think about the mail-in ballots from 2020 versus now, and I got to agree with you to an extent here. I think you go with the door knockers. They'll tell you that people are enthusiastic. A gut feeling, I don't think that they're going to get the kind of numbers they need, which would be over what President Obama got in 2012, which was a 472,000 number. I think that's the reason why they're pushing as much as they are now, the Harris campaign in Pennsylvania with these two concerts in Pittsburgh and in Philadelphia. They're trying to drum up that enthusiasm. Look, the volunteers will tell you they've knocked on thousands of doors. I spoke to some Puerto Rican activists as well in the neighborhoods there. They say they're pretty adamant that comment made by the comedian at the Trump rally in MSG has really woken up some Puerto Rican and Latino voters to come out in a big way. They say the canvassers I spoke to say that those who were undecided just a couple weeks ago or even a few days before the comment are now either firmly Harris or no longer undecided on her side. But at the end of the day, will they actually show up and vote? And I'm not sure. Michael Nutter, the former mayor, obviously, of Philadelphia, said that he needs something like she needs a historic turnout, closer to 600,000, which is crazy. I mean, Obama never got close to that. He only got 472 around there. But bottom line is a historic turnout, and I'm not so sure. There's been rumblings here that I've heard.
You're right. I remember, and Brian, I covered the Obama inauguration. I've never seen anything like it. It was a bitterly cold day. We're walking down the street close to it. A guy has maybe a heart problem, whatever. They had to pass him over top of the area because it was such a sea of humanity. Nobody's going to draw that type of thing in Philadelphia like Obama. It was history. So where are you going to be covering tomorrow? Are you here in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I'll actually be going to Bucks County tomorrow, the polling station there.
Okay.
Obviously, that is the swingiest, swing county, the swingiest state, as the governor says. And so we'll be talking to voters nonstop as they go in and out of the polling place. Try to get the temperature here.
Do you have a particular one that you think is a good spot in Bucks County? I'm asking because you guys have mapped this out. I'll center in on it as a good weather vane of this.
I think we're going to be in Bensalem tomorrow, and then we'll probably check out Newtown. We'll see if we move from there. But, we spent our time in Doylestown because that's one of the few offices that people could vote by on-demand mail, and we spoke to a ton of voters there. And And, you know, you can tell the energy there. I think it was 2-1 Republicans and Democrat that were showing up for the on-demand mail voting. And you know, you spoke to even the Democrats in line there, and they felt an energy there they hadn't felt before. So we'll see about Bucks. I know the Republicans are feeling optimistic about that.
Well, that's near the casino. Those casino voters could go either way out there in Ben Salem, so be ready for that. But feel free to stop by here. We'll let you see what listeners are saying, at least on one side of it, Brian. Have a great election day. We like your work a lot. And please call in if you feel like tomorrow you have the number, and I'm on noon to 3. Let us know what you see happening.
Oh, absolutely, Dan. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Brian Yanis here on Talk Radio 1210. He's calling Dan now, though. What the heck's happening there? All right, in the on-deck circle.
That's so special.
Jim Worthington from the NAC. He's got the biggie tonight. That is J.D. Vance closes out his campaign over at the NAC tonight. Should be a big time. We'll hear from Jim. But first, it is time for...
let's do that 2:30, Dom. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't see
I want to get to
Jim. We'll go to Jim coming up here. Yeah, he's busy with preparations. Get in on the side question. And Liberal Paul is here to defend the Cheneys. Uh-oh. That's going to take. Who's a bigger hypocrite? We supported the Cheneys. Now the Cheneys support. Well, you guys don't? We'll see who's changed here. It might be a twist in time. All right. Dom's Money Melody right now, right?
No, we're going to take a break. We're going to do Money Melody at 2:30, Dom.
2:30. Okay. 855-839-1210.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
The following is a paid commercial message.
27 years in politics has changed Bob Casey. He's just not the same anymore. In Washington, Bob Casey voted to let biological men compete against our girls in their sports. And Casey introduced a bill to force hospitals to perform sex change operations against their beliefs. Letting men compete against our daughters? Forcing hospitals to perform sex changes? It's just not normal. But that's how liberal Casey is these days. Casey also voted for higher taxes on seniors' Social Security benefits, too. Casey even voted for a bill that could raise out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors. Higher taxes on Social Security? Raising drug costs for seniors? Come on, Casey. It's just not right. Bob Casey's gone way too liberal for Pennsylvania. After 27 years, we need a change. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Free speech lives here. With Don Stensland, 10 till noon. On Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. He's a member of the Mount Rushmore of Pennsylvania. Presler, Linda Kearns, Captain Parnell, and Jim Worthington. When Trump wins tomorrow, these are the forces that did it. He owns the great physical fitness complex up there in Newtown, the NAC, and he's got J.D. Vance tonight. Hey, Jim, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, great to be on, Dom. Big night up in Newtown, that's for sure.
So what time are you having J.D. Vance close out his campaign tonight, Jim?
Well, the doors open at 6:30, and by the way, the line's already started. I mean, it's not long, but it's already started. I pulled out of the parking lot 20 minutes ago, and there was like 20 people lined up there. So everybody's excited. It looks like doors open 6:30. We expect him at 8:30. We've got Lloyd Smucker, Congressman from Lancaster, coming down, and Dan Muser, who's a congressman, who's a huge supporter, both huge supporters of the president. They'll be speaking for a few minutes. I open it up for a few minutes, but he should be on at 8:30. I just watched him. He's in Wisconsin a few minutes ago, so he's traveling all across the country to get there. I suspect the latest he might be is a 8:45 or so, and he'll probably be on for a good 45 minutes. But I had him a month ago, and if you haven't seen J.D. Vance in person, he is a rock star, and he's the future of the Republican Party after President Trump wins tomorrow, and we turn to 2028. He's going to be at the top of the list of guys that are going to take us into the next level. So we're excited. It's going to be a great night. We expect 3,000-4,000 people, and we could fit at least 5. So no tickets required. Anybody that wants to come can come. Just you don't have to register. Just come and celebrate tonight. It's going to be a great night.
Well, I like Vance too, Jim, as the guy. Look, Trump has the vision, policies, and all that, but executing them, drilling down on them the first term, it took a while. I think J.D. Vance is very much a detail guy on all those policies.
I think you nailed it. He is maybe one of the smartest people I've ever met in politics. He is just like a machine, and he knows his stuff inside out. He knows every detail. Legal background, Ivy League grad. He's smart as a whip, and he's just I think he's the perfect complement to the president. I think at the end of the day, he was definitely the right choice as VP. I think you're going to see tomorrow he's going to make a difference in these Rust Belt states. And when we bring Pennsylvania home tomorrow, which if you win Pennsylvania, you're the president of the United States, I think he's going to deserve a little bit of credit. Great choice.
You do too, Jim. Thank you, Jim. So doors open tonight at 6:30.
Yep, and 6:30. And remember, tomorrow night is our election night watch party. We've got that starts at 7:30. So anybody who wants to come and watch the returns, we've got a huge screen TV. We expect a couple thousand people for that. We'll be there right through till they announce the winner, which will be Donald Trump sometime tomorrow night.
You think tomorrow night? Wait a minute, Jim. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You picked it tomorrow night, yes?
I believe between 11 and 12, they're going to call Pennsylvania. I honestly believe it. If everybody gets out to vote, if everybody does what they're supposed to do, every indication, we get a big turnout, all our people, we win. We close out Pennsylvania tomorrow night. I really believe that. I'd be surprised if we don't. We've got such momentum. We've got so many people working hard. Early voting is in our favor, in terms of the 2-1, less than 2-1. It was 4-1 in 2020. I'm making a bold prediction. I think before 12 o'clock they'll call Pennsylvania, and we'll be on our way for victory.
Well, that'll be quite a celebration, Jim. Thank you, Jim, as always. And again, tell people where the NAC is. I know it's in Newtown, but the exact location?
Yep, it's 120 Pheasant Run, Newtown, and you just pull right on in there, and you'll see all kinds of people walking in line. It's going to be phenomenal. Dom, thanks for all you do to help us get the word out. By the way, we had Mike Pompeo with Brian Fitzpatrick at my place this morning. So, we had a big weekend. We had Dave McCormick on Sunday. We had Mike Pompeo this morning with Brian Fitzpatrick. We got J.D. Vance tonight. We're pulling out all the stops to get President Trump across the finish line.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks as always. We'll catch up.
Thank you.
Jim Worthington. I don't see it tomorrow night, 11, 12 o'clock. We're going to have this. I still predict it's not going to be like the last time. It's not going to be Saturday, anything like that. Sometime by Thursday, you'll know the result. Probably by the showtime. I don't see it on Wednesday. It's going to be dragging. They're better counting this time, et cetera. There's not as much mail-in ballot, but there's going to be a little bit of lag time. If that's it tomorrow night, 11, 12 o'clock, that would be spectacular. I have the home dom-dom on alert, the bat signal, in case something's breaking at 1 o'clock or whatever. But Liberal Paul, we haven't spoken in years. What brings him here? I don't think Dan has ever heard Liberal Paul before. He's in Bucks County on Talk Radio 1210. Liberal Paul, how have you been?
How you doing, Don? Long time no talk to.
Yes, same here.
It was nice to hear the towel boy just give the instructions on how to get to the NAC. He's a fine man, that Jim Worthington. One day you might want to ask about his psychotic son who did a guy's ear off.
Paul, Paul, can we stick to the election, please? Come on.
Sure. You know, where did you and I start talking? 20 years ago, when you were rah for invading Iraq. And the reason I started calling in was because I was saying what a boneheaded idea it was. And now suddenly all you Republicans are having amnesia, forgetting that you were the guys cheering for the war. Now suddenly you've all got amnesia, just like you've all forgotten how...
Nobody has amnesia, Paul. Could it be, though, that people have recognized this as a strategy, these unending, ceaseless wars in these godforsaken places? They're not what we want to spend treasury and lives, most importantly, on. Could it be that?
Could it be that not a single American has died in Ukraine? What is this endless war you're talking about? Since when did you become a Putin sucker?
Oh, my God. All right.
You went from being tough guy...
All right, Paul. Okay, Paul. We tried there. I mean, you know,
I don't really know what he said, but I dumped it anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you know, we're not going there. We're not doing that. If you want to say, well, Republicans were wrong on that with George W. Bush, and Trump is the one that broke through. As I say every time, it's not going to be the Supreme Court. It's not going to be the annex of Trump. If this sticks, that Republicans are opposed to unending wars and this sort of involvement. Now, the other side argues, just as he did, well, Ukraine, all you're doing is spending money there. Well, there's a lot that goes with that. We've seen North Carolina. We've seen the argument. Why are we doing this? Why are we taking that burden almost solely? And yet we can't take care of things at home. It's a sea change. It is different. Jimmy Matthews, boy, liberal Paul.
Back to back.
And Jimmy Matthews back to back. Oh, this must be a big election.
You're a classy guy.
Thank you for this. He has a question for me, Jimmy in Bluebell. Hey, Jimmy, how are things
Dom,
out of
how
Bluebell?
are you today?
Good, Jimmy.
How are you today, Dom? My song is Thunderstruck. I don't know if that was brought up.
No, it was not. It's a good one. Yep.
So when Kamala wins tomorrow, are you ready to call her Madam President?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, it won't be tomorrow, Jimmy. No one's going to win tomorrow, I'm convinced. But sure,
it's going to be tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Oh my God! What do you base that on?
Well, I base it on what I see, and I'm ready for you on Wednesday to call her Madam President. And will you continue to call Trump we
will call him. Trump. We will call him just like President Obama.
So, Jimmy, let me ask you though: if Kamala loses and Dom starts calling her Vice President Harris, are you going to call him with the same vigor?
Yes, are you?
No, I will not.
Well,
I will accept it for what it is.
Okay. Well, you're consistent, Jimmy. Thank you very much. That reminds me. Here is Jamie Raskin. I didn't play this yet. The constitutional guy, allegedly, on the Democrat side, and you'll see why this plays into what Jimmy just asked. Cut 9, Raskin is asked, will you accept the election if Trump wins, essentially?
So
here's what he said.
When I say we will support a free and fair election, no, we're not going to allow them to steal it in the states or steal it at the Department of Justice or steal it with any other election official in the country. If it's a free and fair election, we will do what we've always done. We will honor it.
So, finally.
This is with Bill Maher.
Yeah. And that is the Democrats' history. They honor it. That is the big difference between the parties. One of the big. Okay. So.
And on that point, I'll tell you, the political scientists have told us the hallmark characteristics of a fascist political party. Number one, they don't accept the outcome of democratic elections that don't go their way.
Yeah.
Right? Number two, they embrace political violence as an instrument for obtaining power. And three, they're not organized democratically. They're organized top down as a cult of a personality around a charismatic or allegedly charismatic figure, right? I mean, and that's a fascist party. They also don't put issues before the people for meaningful discussion and debate. This whole campaign's been wasted. What do? Scapegoating, racism, anti-Semitism, immigrant bashing, and gay bashing. They got mad at, our great president, Joe Biden, because he said there were semi-fascist currents running through the Republican Party. But I'm sorry, if the shoe semi-fits, you semi-wear it. And that's what they've done.
All right. So Raskin is also the guy, he fancies himself constitutionalist, that is working up their plan to deny Trump the presidency through exactly the things he talked about if he feels like it. He's not admitting it there. Bill Maher could have pushed him on it. So are you going to be doing anything if Trump wins the election to prevent that? All right. And he has called into question elections in the past, as have any number of Democrats. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. But first, we're playing for a great prize today.
Money Melody.
All right. You'll win a $50 gift card to the Melting Pot. Are you down to fondue? Melting Pot, no, Dan. Yes, I've been to several fondues. Is offering the all-new Down to Fondue Happy Hour. Available at the bar. Enjoy half-off cheese and chocolate fondue. Dates and times may vary. To find out about all this, visit meltingpot.com for details.
I love me some melting pot.
There you go. I knew you would. Yes.
I love cheese. And I'm lactose intolerant, which makes no sense. So, Dom, today we're playing for that great prize, and we lost to a legend, Quincy Jones, Dom, and he provided soundtracks for so many things that we love, particularly a 1969 film, Dom, that features this song in the background. You know what? I'll paint a picture. A very famous actor driving a Lamborghini Miura through the countryside with this song in the background. We want to know the name of this film that was released in 1969 in which Quincy Jones composed the music for. Take a listen.
Questi giorni quando vieni il bel sole.
It's the opening scene of this 1969 film. You hear that great music composed by Quincy Jones. We're looking for the name of the film that was released in 1969. All
right, hit us with that, and you are off to the Melting Pot to celebrate, hopefully. Hey, first, let's talk about Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group, my dentist, prosthodontist, friend, and dentist extraordinaire. There's so many things that set Dr. Bentz apart from other dentists. Recently, though, he shared with me the importance of a role technology plays in his everyday work. We talked for quite a bit. Cutting-edge, state-of-the-art equipment is what elevates the level of care offered. His on-site lab and the technology he has on hand every day helps him provide you with the most accurate diagnosis, and then it sets up the partnership, the plan of what you can do to meet what the two of you are seeing. He goes over it with you. Now, he also has, in making your teeth, we talk about that 3D printer, which is remarkable for your comfort, precision, the first time around. And he has John there, who is an artisan, working with all this technology. So it's technology in the hands of Dr. Bentz, his staff and support staff, that really sets him apart. That's why people send other dentists their most difficult cases there. That's why I've told you about his dental care if you have anxiety, if you're very fearful of the dentist, the results that they get. It's all there. It actually makes it something remarkably easy because it's scientific. So this cutting-edge, state-of-the-art equipment is what elevates that. Dr. Bentz and the team in the Bentz Dental Group provide solutions for even the most complex dental cases. Get great dental care. Call Dr. Bentz, 610-272-6949, or visit Bentz, B-E-N-T-Z, dentalgroup.com. Bentz Dental Group, say it with a smile.
Weather sponsored by Robert Half.
Chilly and clear overnight, 47. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 62. Sunday, it'll be sunny, only a high of 60 though. And on Monday, it'll be a little bit warmer, high 67. By Tuesday, we're back in the upper 70s.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Our recruiting professionals utilize an award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, It's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-837-5050. That's 800-837-5050. 800-837-5050.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Cape May is absolutely gorgeous in the fall. If you have not been to Cape May in the fall, you are missing out. You should book a stay today at my happy place that I know will become your happy place, the Grand Hotel of Cape May, New Jersey. From September 29th through December 21st, the Grand is offering a fabulous fall midweek stay. Stay 2 nights, receive $100 in resort credits. Stay 3 nights, get $150 in resort credits. Stay 5 nights, get $200 in resort credits that can be used at Hemingway's for food and drink or at the gift shop. The Grand offers guest rooms, suites, and townhomes equipped with kitchenettes, and they have 2 huge heated pools, 1 outdoor, 1 indoor. The Grand is an amazing place for you and your spouse or the entire family. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Always book direct with them for the best rates and to get those resort credits. Book your stay today. 800-257-8550. It's 800-257-8550 or grandhotelcapemay.com. My happy place. grandhotelcapemay.com.
Medicare is making important changes in 2025. Independence Blue Cross can help. Our Medicare Advantage plans include premiums as low as $0, dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage. The deadline to enroll is December 7th. Visit ibxmedicare.com/radio. Independence Blue Cross offers PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Independence Blue Cross PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo. As the store's owner, I want our clients treated with respect. I want our employees to have extensive product knowledge and be genuinely engaged with our clients. Our pricing is competitive, but our client attention is second to none. When considering a new car, consider Cherry Hill Volvo. Contact me directly. Relationships really do matter to us.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, let's hear the clue and what we're looking for, Dan, today.
And then I hear sweet music float around my head.
We're going to paint a picture, Dom, an all-time legendary actor driving a Lamborghini Miura through a countryside to kick off this film released in 1969. I'll throw an extra clue in there. It was remade, and the remake was actually well-received as well, but we're playing it because we're honoring Quincy Jones, who did the soundtrack for the film, Dom. But we want to know the name of the film, released in 1969.
All right, let's go to Warner in Bucks County on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Warner, what's the name of the film?
Hi. The Italian Job.
Oh, that's the original Italian Job. You're exactly right. We'll put you on hold. Go ahead.
By Matt Monroe.
That's it. Yep. And who's the star of the film?
Well, there was Noel Coward, Benny Hill, and, of course, Michael Caine.
There you go, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine in that. Wow. I'll put you on hold,
Hey,
Warner.
Dom,
Yes.
when you get a slow day, you need to have a version of Whatever Happened To for all the characters they used to call.
Like Liberal Paul,
Like
yes.
Paul.
Check him
yes, whatever happened to.
I remember when Suleiman used to call you all the time, and you entertained this conversation.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You have a lot more patience than I do.
Thank you, Warner, very much. There was a guy, too, the guy down in Grays Ferry. Oh, man. It was nuts. I don't know that he's with us anymore, but okay. Not a bad suggestion, Warner. You're the winner. Enjoy the melting pot. All right, a couple of things, and we'll get to you on the side question today. Hit us with that song that really inspires you, gets you going physically. In about 20 minutes, I'll be on Newsmax talking about the election. Something I played early on, two things, in fact. The Houlihan surfaced yesterday from Chester County. This is cut 20. And listen to what Houlihan, Congresswoman Chrissy Houlihan, admits that Democrats, you can't understand it, are struggling to communicate what they've done for the American people. And Henry particularly took a liking to what she says about lead pipes here and standing on a street corner in the end. Just listen to this. They still are trying to avoid what they've done to the middle class. They have no answer, so this is what they say.
Despite all of what you just laid out there, that Donald Trump does seem to have a connection with voters in Pennsylvania. Why?
You know, I think that there still is a feeling amongst some of the electorate that they have been forgotten, and that they are looking for somebody who sees them in a way that they feel is not around in the environment. And so I feel frustrated because I feel as though somehow all of us have not been able to break through and communicate all of the decent and good things that are happening under Democratic control with a Democratic White House, and all of the really amazing things that have happened as a consequence of the Biden administration and hopefully of the Harris administration. You know, you stand on a street corner and you're watching people pull the lead pipes out of our communities because they've been there for more than 40 years while we've known they've been hurting our children and our families because of the Biden administration and hopefully a future Harris administration. Those pipes are being eliminated. People are being more safe. And as a result, there's also jobs that are being created
jobs in Port Richmond.
And so I think there really is a disconnect that we're still struggling with to try to communicate
like a Batman villain
really
stealing
what the
on the lead
Democratic
pipes.
platform is about and about the harmfulness of the Republican platform.
Hey, Chrissy, really not you, but the dope that is the moderator there. How about jumping in and saying, what about the grocery stores? With constant evasion, now it's pulling up lead pipes on the street corners for $7 trillion that we spent decimating America's middle class, making them have it to diminish. So much so that the Washington Post said the other day, the American dream now should be a townhouse. No grass, no house around, but a townhouse. Nothing wrong with townhouses, but come on. Can you imagine? Yeah, you didn't hear that early on, Dan. Henry and I both, same thing. Now they're reduced to talking about pulling up lead pipes as you're standing on a street corner. Here is Chris Murphy, who's better at this than Houlihan is, the senator from Connecticut.
You know, you stand on a street corner and you're watching people pull the lead pipes out of our communities because they've been there for more than 40 years while we've known they've been hurting our children and our families.
How does Chester County, how do you elect people like this out in the suburbs? Lead pipes on our children, All right, here is Chris Murphy, senator from Connecticut, not talking about guns, surprisingly, in this, but I wish he were with me. My big take is the sleeper issue is the transgendered stuff, particularly when it comes to sports. Here's what Murphy said. I think it's with Brian Kilmeade about why in the world is Trump spending so much money on this?
So why wouldn't she use that opportunity to explain her change in that opportunity? For example, on transgender surgeries for criminals, illegal aliens in prison, I'll follow the law. Why not use that opportunity to say, I would not pay for that? Because that's not where the American people are at.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting to me is that, you know, estimates are that like 40% of all of Trump's ads are about transgender kids. As if that's the biggest threat to this country. I mean, I heard folks on your previous segment talking about grocery prices, but that's not what most people care about in this country. They care about prices. They care about public safety. They don't think that 40% of the conversation in this campaign should be about transgender kids. And as for the border wall, listen, I'm fine with
Okay, let's stop it there, Dan, because now Brian Kilmeade missed an opportunity there. He put in a little bit the way that, you know, on the spot, I would have dealt with it is they do care. Why? They care about the issue as much as you want to tell us, well, what about the border? What about inflation? We've been through that already. What else do you want to tell us about it that has already been negative toward Harris? But the bottom line is they care about this because it's a tell. She did not move away from that other than to say, I follow the law. Why? What about women having to deal with men in their sports is constant issue? Now, they did spend about $30 million on it. I think it's money well spent. I think it's a sleeper issue. It's not deflecting and getting away from the main issues. It's a tell on how radical Harris is, and it's an Achilles heel because for some reason, she doesn't think she can renounce this as she has most of her positions. Why is that? He knows why, because their side will not allow it. And suddenly calling kids, what about the girls, Chris Murphy? What about the girls who have to deal with this? All right, coming up, the lightning round. We'll get a winner for today. That song that really inspires you. One of the biggest and healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements Black Friday sale is here. Right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity and cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab savings, huge savings, on omega-3s, probiotics, and a lot more. One more thing. This Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com. That's res-q.com. Or call a Rescue product consultant, 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off during the entire month of November. So why wait? Shop massive savings on essential supplements. Go to res-q.com and do it today.
Rich Zeoli.
Do me a favor. Kamala came out with the Spanish accent yesterday, too, trying to rock a little AOC. So I'm waiting for her to do an Italian accent and come out there and be like, hey, yo, not for nothing, but the price of gabagool is too much.
Oh, that's funny. Depends where she's campaigning. Like, if they do a Staten Island rally, you're going to see that. You know how the old Italian men make up words? Like, hey, did you get a little botchka to go? Huh? You get a little scabba to go? That's going to be Kamala.
Rich Zeoli, weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Upgrade your bathroom with Emmons Remodeling.
We offer custom design, build, renovation services to fit your style and budget. Our designers work closely with you to create the perfect space for you and your family.
Experience luxury and functionality with the expert team at Emmons.
So call us at 856-885-6677. Again, that's 856-885-6677, or visit us at callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Businesses to watch.
Kick off fall with a new Armin Chevrolet Equinox. Right now, Armin Chevrolet is leasing a new 2024 Equinox LS for only $199 per month for 24 months with 10,000 miles per year. That's right, only $199 per month. Together, let's drive. Visit Armin Chevrolet in Ardmore or shop 24/7 at arminchevy.com. Armin, where dealership meets friendship. MSRP $28,035. Taxes, tax, first payment, bank fee, and $39.99 down payment with Sunday. Buyer's current lease and household nature bank approval ends 11/10/24.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
The 2024 presidential election is here. With the race neck and neck and with so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis you need. Our reporters are on the ground, and we're breaking down the numbers until every last vote is counted, providing you with insight on what it all means for the future of our country. Watch coverage of the 2024 presidential election Tuesday, November 5th, and listen to MSNBC Live on the free Odyssey app or wherever you watch MSNBC.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That is right. Dom's Lightning Round, sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo, where they have ample inventory of brand new and beautiful pre-owned Volvos. Enjoy the luxury experience you deserve. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. All right, that inspirational song. Be brief. Gary, what's your song?
Dopey.
Gary, what's your song?
Come on.
Sounds like Gary's playing with his dog.
Gary. Joe of Exton. Joe of Exton. Joe, what's your song this afternoon?
Yes. Hello, Dom, and good afternoon. The song that completely captures my attention is by Billy Joel, called We Didn't Start the Fire.
Wow, I'm kind of surprised at that, Joe. Why?
Which is a roll call of historical events, recalling persons, places, and things during the decade of the 60s. And Billy Joel ends the song by raising the pitch of his voice to evoke the possibility of a nuclear holocaust.
All right, thank you, Joe. Wow.
A dark ending there for Joe.
Yeah, he stays on brand somehow or another, though. The Earl of Tacony on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Earl, what's the song today?
I got a title and a story that goes with it. It would be Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Hollywood Nights, with that opening drum riff by David Teagarden. But one of the people that was on it, Bill Payne, was the keyboardist. He played for Little Feat. When they did the first mix of the song, he got a cassette tape of the song and listened to it on the way home. And when he got home, he called Bob Seger and said, halfway through the song, I'm driving down the highway and didn't realize I was doing 100 miles an hour while listening to this song. That's how much the song, influenced him and drove him to go ahead.
Wow, that is quite a backstory. Bruce in the Northeast.
Hit the post, too.
Critical here tomorrow. Let's in the election. Bruce, what do you have today?
Hey, Dom. Good afternoon. Yeah, my song pick is a tune from 1969 by the Spiral Staircase, titled More Today Than Yesterday. And I like it because it's happy, it's sing-along, and it's uplifting. And, Don, real quick, while we're on the subject of music, there's a song out there, I've been meaning to tell you this, that personifies your obsession with hair.
Okay.
It's from the late 1960s, sung by the Cowsills, and it's titled Hair, and if Dan can cue it up sometime, you'll exactly know why I say that. It really fits your profile.
Thank you, Bruce. He's working on it now. By the way, Newman Price, who is an unimpeachable source, has up on Twitter, stop saying I'm 5'8". He saw me the other day, and he said that's at least 5 inches too short. That would put me around 6'1".
I'd say about 6 feet and a half.
No, 6'1.25". Come on now.
We're not doing half inches.
Yeah,
we're not doing
quarters.
Dom does quarters. He does eighth inches.
Come on now.
Just
Every
round
quarter
up,
of an
round
inch
up, or round
counts.
down.
All right. Let's ask Henry, who did you like? Inspirational song today.
Yeah, I think the one that stuck out to me, because I agree with the whole Virginia Tech and Mariano Rivera, was Joe and Columbus's answer of Enter Sandman.
That's a good one. Dan, how about you?
You know, we didn't confer at all behind here, but that was actually the one I was going to throw out there too. Enter Salmon, for a whole different reason, being ECW and the memories that it brings up with that.
All right. Enter Sandman is the winner here, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. Get out and vote. Of course, enough said on that. In about 4.5 minutes, who's counting? I'll be on Newsmax talking about the election. I'm not sure if it's a debate or a talk. Debate's always better. Follow on Twitter until tomorrow, and I'll see you in South Philly tonight around 7 o'clock at the Columbus statue for the big rally down there. Richie always next for 4 big hours. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free.